on your server is a fucking idiot. Got it.
No. It's not your fault that he's an idiot.
You actually are like
you are bringing it down.
You're like
because
supporting
you
that
do.
dumbass behavior, dude.
You gonna let that go on, right?
Y'all like
So he's part of you. He's representing you.
exactly.
Because you two are an idiot.
Are you stamping his behavior?
It is your spasticity that is provoking all of
Oh,
this.
do you? No, he brought me into the conversation, bro.
Dude, you're a spastic.
Oh,
Okay?
wow.
That's
You're
the way
obsessed
that it
with
is. I can't
another
do
male
anything
that's
about
under
that.
30 and you're a boomer and you're weird. Stop talking about me, bro. I don't care. How about you look for people in the real world that even care about your opinion, much less me? I don't care about your opinion.
I know what vagina looks like, you incel cuck.
So your response was to tell me more about your opinion?
No, my response is that I am not a boomer, for one.
How old are you, dude?
I don't care about your age. I'm not obsessed with you. I don't.
Then why
really
do you always
give a
talk
fuck
about me
you
personally,
other
then?
than I really wish you weren't here because
I don't care,
you.
though.
I think you.
Oh, I thought you didn't care about me. Despise is a strong emotional contention.
And I hate people.
What a
like
fucking
that.
weirdo.
So no, I'm not going to take kindly to you.
Okay,
I'm going
cool story.
to oppose you because I despise you. I find you to be despicable and dishonest.
Okay, so you're still gonna keep talking about me because you're like weirdly obsessed with me.
So. No.
Then stop talking about me personally, bro. It's weird.
I'm not like talking about where you live.
You just keep talking about me. You're weird.
Your hobbies. I'm talking about your behavior.
But I don't care about your opinion of
your
me.
Stories.
Are you incapable of fucking remedial comprehension, you boomer?
Like some kind of supreme being over
No.
else.
That's what you think.
Supreme logical being.
I never said that.
Anywhere you go in your estimation, and you.
Well, you're just making shit up.
You boomer.
You're just making shit up, man.
That is.
All right, did you get your little boomer rant out? Are you done now?
Like you just made up that I'm a boomer.
Well, you sound like a fucking boomer. I use the term.
What evidence do you have that I'm a boomer?
I'm trying.
Well,
let me explain something.
Like a
I
little
use
faggot.
the term.
So are you a little faggot?
No.
Are you?
I use the.
Then should I call you a faggot? Should I ask
I will call somebody that's like 35 a boomer, right? It's about. Listen, dude, it's just the boomer thing is just a joke about your
little boy.
I'm trying to explain it, but you're spiraling.
Hey, little junior Zeta male. What does a boomer sound like?
Sounds just like you, and an idiot
I know you're spiraling, dude. You're like
you sound like a boomer, Rakia.
Okay, now what
I
know?
like a dumb.
Actually, I am a boomer.
So you took this conversation way off topic, right, Curve? You obfuscated the whole thing.
Yeah, that's what his intention was.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that's all you ever do. I've been here for weeks and weeks and weeks, and every time you jump in, you've never said anything substantive ever one time.
Every time you open.
Neither have you.
Every time you open your stupid.
Oh, here he goes talking about me again. Oh, look, another gamma male oddly obsessed with psychoanalyzing another male on the internet.
Shut the fuck up for a second.
Oh, look, another gamma male upset now. Stop acting like it.
You get refuted, and every day you come back.
I get refuted? You haven't even brought up anything with specificity at all. You brought up geology and then try to describe a broad invoking of geodetic surveying that you don't understand. I asked for this. That's why Curve has to Curve's freaking out because I'm trying to bring the conversation back to substance. So he has to go back to talking about me again. He's scared I'm bringing the conversation back to the topic, so he goes back to talking about me again. No, you're talking about me, and I've expressed very clearly no one cares, bruh, you boomer.
And you weren't talking about me. You weren't talking about
No, you jump in every time I'm here and start trying to tell me what you think about me because you think I care.
Well, quit stalking me. You know that I'm here. Quit stalking me.
What are you talking about?
What you talking about?
That comes from your stupid little gimp ass.
What in the world are you talking about, sir?
Accusing me of stalking you.
Dude, he's spiraling, dude. You're losing it.
Of stalking you.
You're spiraling,
you
bro.
accuse me of stalking you.
Is this the climax of your cool story, bro?
This is where I am. This is just where I go.
Is this the climax?
I don't go anywhere stalking you.
This is a really terrible plot, dude. This is fucking boring.
Headed fucking attempt to accuse me of that shows exactly how fucking screwed up and disingenuous you are.
Are you done spiraling yet?
How does Curve leave here?
You
How
don't
come
even know what that
I
means,
am
Sonny
sick
boy.
of you. So what
Witsit,
are you
take
doing?
Witsit.
You're not doing a
Witsit,
fucking
take him to
thing,
school.
Witsit, other than
Are you
bragging
done?
about how wrong
Are you
you
done?
are.
Are you done spiraling emotionally so we can get back to some substantive
Are you done
conversation, maybe?
accusing me of spiraling? I'm
Take him
just
to
trying to
school.
have a conversation. You
Oh.
don't
Take
want
him
to
to
have a
school, Witsit.
conversation
Okay,
about
he
some
brought up geodetic
substance.
survey and asked for the
You
specific
want
evidence
to
in which
talk
it
about
proves
people.
terra firma claim of
That's why you
convexity. Can you
can't
provide
keep
it?
yourself
You
from
have
it.
to overtalk me. Yeah, we get it. Are you done spiraling yet?
Motherfucker, you overtalk like a bitch. I don't want to hear it.
Okay. Would you like to provide any
You
type of
whine about
substantive
every
response?
goddamn thing that you do obsessively and
You
try
can't
to
make
act like
claims.
everything is everybody else's fault.
You can't make
Fuck
claims
you,
about. You
victim.
can't. You can't make
I haven't
claims.
heard any worse, man. I've never seen a human being, a man, spiral any worse than this.
Yeah, it's pretty
Witsit.
crazy. You can't
Well,
make
you
claims
should
about the
listen to
natural
yourself
world
sometime,
void.
or
Hey,
kid.
listen, bro. Curve, listen. You can't make claims about the natural world
I can
void
make
of
any claim I
replica.
fucking want to.
Okay. You can't make claims about the natural world void of replication, practical demonstration, or experimentation. And scientific experimentation requires a naturally occurring observation and independent variable manipulation.
Been done.
It's been done. Can you provide the scientific experimentation to prove the globe Earth's claims, please?
According to who?
Just bring one. Just it's been done. Just provide one. Then I've been looking for 5 years, but y'all are scared of the truth. So provide the evidence.
What's it? Who are you parroting?
Here comes more people talking
Who are
about
you
me. Some
parroting?
more.
What's it?
I just made that rhyme
Who
up
are
a
you
couple days
parroting?
ago. You clown show.
According to who?
And somebody else rhymed you into the fucking.
Okay, so
Hit him
are
with
y'all
some
done
bars.
spiraling?
Hit him
Y'all
with
want me to
some
play
bars,
the track?
Witsit.
I'll play the track
Let's
for
hear
y'all.
it. Play that track. Let's hear the
All right,
bars.
just a sec.
No, let's hear the track where they fucking pounded you into the ground. Like
I wanna hear
singing
these
means
bars.
anything,
Chill,
you
Moya.
retard.
Chill, fam. Let's hear these bars.
All right. Well, when Ahmad or some other admin comes along with some
Some more spiraling. Here we go.
I'll come back to the conversation.
I'm not hearing it.
Yeah, I'm about to play it in a sec.
All right.
Thank God for small graces.
All right, here we go. Can't make claims about the natural world void of validation, replication, demonstration, and experimentation. Naturally occurring observation, IV manipulation, falsification, independent of replacement. You can debate this. Never really know what space is. They say it's vacant, pressure adjacent. Second law violation. Y'all don't even understand
Alright,
what you're
no singing is allowed here. What the fuck is this?
That was dope. That was dope.
He's talking.
Misplaced it. Spherical necessitation, north to south continuation, circumnavigation, but Antarctic exploration is forbidden with cooperation of every major nation. You're afraid to say this, we give NASA 60 million.
Stop.
As for paintings and computers generating animations, they misled a generation after generation. Paperclip.
There we go. Turn it down to 0 and you can't hear everyone.
In charge of space exploration. Signing an Arctic treaty within a year of NASA's foundation. High fish bold and couple operations. You research for and you regurgitating what you heard on stations. Earth the station, it's not worth debating. Bring up horizon, we just get conflation of apparent and an actual location. That's just why they always drown in obfuscation. Falsification, always independent of replacement.
Yo, that was dope. That was fire, Witsit.
Hey.
That was crazy. No, that was actually a nice one.
That was the best, one of the best flat Earth raps I've ever heard. So
Yeah,
I think it was the best.
we gotta have a Glober do one now. Let's hear it.
What?
That was done the other day. It was wonderful. It was
falsification
on the
is
cuff. Somebody
independent
brought
of
it back.
replacement.
Actually, Sheeples the other day was good.
Yeah, Sheeple crushed
He was good.
and on off the cuff too.
It wasn't off the cuff. He told me he wrote it, bro.
Oh, you
Why
coming
you
with
have to
Rentons?
why y'all just have to like add a lie?
Are they
I'm
coming
like,
with Rentons?
I like cheering them on when it happened because I'm not like weird little haters and stuff like y'all.
Have you ever actually let somebody speak without stepping on them? I don't think so.
Falsification is independent of
Because it's coming
replacement.
from someone in a room that 20 people step on me every time I speak.
You never stop speaking. You actually,
And I think it's been
as soon as somebody starts to answer you, you keep on stepping all over them.
It's been like a solid minute now. Can anyone respond to any of the rap, or are y'all just gonna bullshit and obfuscate like the rap calls you out for doing
You still
preemptively?
haven't falsified dick. Sure, I'll respond. It's idiotic.
Yeah, it comes back to the main part of the rap. You don't even understand what your claim is. Conceptual dilations, physical privations, or space-time reifications. That's a concept that you gave concreteness and misplaced it.
No? Okay, cool.
Yo, you got an audio track of that Witsit, or is it on a YouTube clip or something?
Yeah, I'll drop the audio in here.
You're
I just did that like one tick.
You were dropping knowledge bombs in there. That was fucking deep.
Yeah, knowledge.
If you research everything in there, it's real. So the fact that you just can't respond with specificity demonstrates what the rap knew you would do.
Specificity.
Yeah.
That's why I made it a point to call out your fallacious reasoning and your inevitable obfuscation.
Oh, dude, they don't even think
fallacious reasoning. Exactly, you know.
Yeah, reification fallacy. You know that
fallacies
fallacies are in place to maintain
You're
logical
talking over
consistency.
somebody. I don't know if you noticed.
It
Okay, hold on.
Witsit. We're just talking.
Yeah,
fallacies are in
Jeremy,
place.
shut the fuck up for a minute. I want to learn something
Who are
here.
you
So
talking
what is
to
the
like that? Why do
I'm
you
talking to
talk
Witsit
to
now.
me like that?
what's it? What is the reification fallacy?
Yeah, whenever you take a concept, an abstraction, and give it misplaced concreteness. And that's said in the rhyme, you moron.
They don't care about fallacies here, Witsit.
I define reification in the rhyme to prevent that question, and you still had to ask it, and no one's responded to any of the premise in the rhyme yet. Because you can't. That's why it's labeled dead globe dead in 90 seconds. You can't respond. It's weird. Just respond to the premise, please.
Your fucking rap as soon as it started, dude.
Why you keep talking about me?
Okay.
Fixated on winning an argument, dude. Relax, bro. I'm having a discussion with you.
I'm saying in the rhyme it says reification, taking a concept and giving it. It says reification, space-time reification, giving a concept concreteness. You misplaced it. That's what a reification fallacy is.
Giving your rhyme
not a reification fallacy.
So you're saying that giving an abstraction misplaced concreteness isn't a reification
Gravity
fallacy.
is a real thing. It's not just an abstraction.
No, space and time are concepts, and general relativity attributes physical properties to them.
They're also real things.
And also, I said that specifically. Conceptual dilation and physical privation.
That doesn't mean anything.
Sorry, you don't understand your own religion.
And we have gravity. Gravity is
That's what that is challenging, you clown show.
Just because you challenge it doesn't mean you're right.
Well, then it's your positive claim. Do you have positive evidence of your physical claim of concepts?
Are you interrupting? Do you ever let anybody speak, cunt?
Oh, once again, you can't talk. You can't ever answer the questions.
You're not.
Y'all can't answer the questions. You're scared of the questions.
No.
The only answer that you have.
Oh, look, another answer that's not going to be the answer.
The only answer that you ever have to
personal attack. Got him. Personal attack. Knew that was coming. Look how smart this guy sounds.
You might as well just put on a loop because that is your answer to everything.
No, when you make a positive, definitive claim about the nature of where I live, you're gonna have. You
will not engage as a fair broker in.
Stop self-projecting yourself.
You will not. I mean, I have
stop self-projecting. No one cares.
That's projection.
All right, is there any moderators here? Chemo?
Hey,
are you gonna
can someone please just mute Austin's because we don't have any response of substance specificity. We can only talk about him personally.
Nah.
Well,
and then say things like 5-year-olds like nah. That's the third person today that just started making random sounds to drown me out because y'all can't respond with specificity. Y'all are that pathetic. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all are fucking clowns.
Yeah,
But anyway,
people are
trying to actually
do is
like,
try to
hey,
with you, and
oh, now y'all smile. Oh, now y'all want to talk.
No, don't leave us, man.
what people are trying to do is respond to you, and you won't let them.
No, you're
Because
all talking about me personally. I haven't responded to any of the premise.
You're afraid, terrified.
No.
You're terrified.
You don't
kidding me,
shut
right?
up to let
Yeah,
people
you're a clown.
respond.
I've like literally walked in here and fucking smashed the whole room, being muted and 20v1 every time I come here. That's why y'all hate me so much.
Why don't you shut your mouth and listen to people for once?
Y'all don't respond to the points. What, you want me to sit here and listen to gammas on the internet describe me personally and how they feel about me?
Look, you're just rambling on right now.
I'm asking you a question, dude. Do you think that I should sit
rambling on
here?
right now, dude.
Wait, can you answer my question? Can you answer my question? Do you think I should sit here? Y'all have to keep talking me over. Hey, do you think I should sit here?
Find which page it says that people aren't allowed to go there.
Okay, and when I post it right now, are you gonna admit you're wrong?
I've just posted.
Fucking dumbass! You don't even research shit. Watch, I'm about to post it right now. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. What's Article 4 say? Read it out loud.
You're an idiot.
Read Article 4 out loud, and I'm about to post some more documents because you didn't research things that you claim.
Just go away. No one likes you here.
Oh, now that I'm bringing up the evidence, you don't like it. I know.
You're just an annoying twat.
I'm going to get it right now, and y'all will just lie about it and then talk about me some more.
Act 4. No acts or activities taking place while the present treaty is in force shall constitute a basis for asserting, supporting, or denying a claim to territorial sovereignty in Antarctica or create any rights of sovereignty in Antarctica. No new claim or enlarging of an existing claim to territorial sovereignty in Antarctica shall be asserted while the present treaty is in force. So where does it say?
Okay, what's the next article say? Keep going.
You said Article 4.
Okay, Article 5. And I'm about to post something else where I'm just gonna fucking, it's gonna be so funny.
So you're moving the goalpost, yeah, right.
How am I moving the goalpost? I'm about to post the Antarctic legislation signed in 2014 by the U.S. government, you moron.
Which page?
Sorry you haven't researched this because you're not very smart. I'm about to post it, douchebag.
Do it then. Been waiting.
I'm going to get it, man. And then you're not gonna admit you're wrong because you're dishonest.
Boom.
Guaranteed. Okay, this was signed in 2014 by the U.S. military. It is unlawful for any person, and I will link the document in just a second, to refuse permission to any authorized officer or employee of the U.S. Y'all have to interrupt. Look, isn't that funny? It is unlawful for any person to refuse permission to any authorized officer or employee of the United States to board a vessel, vehicle, or aircraft of the U.S. or subject to the jurisdiction of the U.S. for the purpose of conducting any search or inspection in connection with the enforcement of this chapter or any regulation promulgated or permit issued under this chapter, to forcibly assault, resist, oppose, impede, intimidate, or interfere with any authorized officer or employee of the U.S. in the conduct of any search or inspection described in paragraph 8, to resist a lawful arrest or detention for any act prohibited by the section, to interfere with, delay, or prevent by any means the apprehension, arrest, or detention of another person, knowing that such other person has committed any act prohibited by this section.
And
it literally says right there that at no, No, what my claim and our claim is you cannot freely, privately go to Antarctica. It says right there that every single person that's there is subject to inspection at any point in time. It's illegal to even attempt to challenge it. If you try to help someone else challenge it, you will also go to jail. They don't have to articulate probable cause. You cannot stop them from inspecting any vehicle on the spot at any point in time. Admit you're wrong or keep lying.
How's that preventing?
Okay, y'all are literally clowns.
How is that preventing?
How is that preventing?
How's that preventing?
Okay, so when the Antarctic Treaty, which I said 4, I guess it's 5, it says this adheres to any land or anything past the 60th south parallel, and it includes ice shelves, etc., and it goes into detail. Now that was signed in like the 50s. That was signed in 58.
Let's say the link. We'll read through it. Let's say the link.
Okay.
And how's that preventing?
Yeah, that's not.
How is saying that they can go forcibly take over your ship at any point in time not preventative? Are you literally gonna bend over and lie that much? That y'all are that scared of the Earth not being what you think it is, that you will lie about Antarctica. Y'all are scared. Y'all are scared. Y'all are scared. Y'all are scared.
No.
Yeah, it says it. Oh, I'm gonna post the whole document. Yeah, don't worry. You're an idiot.
Sorry, that's just bullshit.
Sorry, what? It says you can't bring a mechanic equipment, water supply, external fuel supply. They can pull you over at any point in time.
Without inspection.
They can no,
shit,
they can't.
without
They can
inspection.
seize
If
your
it's inspected, it's
vehicle
fine.
at any point.
They
They can
can.
seize it and refuse to allow you to continue. Oh, let me
Yeah,
guess.
if they
That's
have
not
suspicion of you
preventative.
doing like shady shit. Sure.
No, it's up to their interpretation whether or not you're doing shady shit. Which means if you're going somewhere, they don't want you to go in that direction unimpeded privately, they will stop you, and they have legal protection to do so. And
Yes,
you
they
don't
do.
have any legal protection to
so?
fight it. It's
Yeah,
literally
that's not
said right
stopping people
there.
from going there, though, is it?
Yes,
It's
people
not
have tried to
stopping
go there and get stopped.
physically going there, though, is it? It's not
Yes,
stopping people from going, though, is it?
so military enforcement, being able to intervene with any exploration
Is that stopping people from going there, or is it
Yes.
preventing them from doing?
It's stopping people from
smuggling and shit? Is that preventing people from physically going there? No, it's not.
privately, freely
You
exploring.
Get a holiday. Yep, you can leave for a holiday on a cruise ship
Do you have to get a
to
permit?
do it. There's many companies that offer.
Do you
these
have to
sort
get a
of things.
permit? Do you have to get a permit?
No, you need a passport. That's about it.
No, you have to get a permit. So you haven't even
No,
read
you
any
need a
of the
passport.
documents.
No, not if
So you just
no, if you
why'd
don't.
you bring up
need
something
you
you're
need a permit
completely
if you go and
uninformed
work
about?
there.
No,
need a permit
that's
if you go and
wrong.
work
That's
there,
wrong.
not if
You
you're
have
just
to get an
traveling around.
inspection pass and a permit for environmental
Let's
reasons
see
before you can
let's see
even
your
think
citation
about
for that,
going.
then. Let's see
You
your
don't even
citation
know
for
what
that.
you're talking about.
I'm out.
Let's
This
see
guy's
your citation.
obnoxious.
Why am I
Yeah, I
having
know.
to teach you about what you're acting like your
Where's your
claim
citation
is?
for it? Let's see your
Oh,
citation, because your previous
okay, I
one
will.
didn't say what you said it said.
Yes, I said that it says it
And
can
you still haven't
prevent
posted
you.
the link for where you got that particular page from either, for us all to link to
Okay,
it and
I'll
read
get
it
it, and then
on
and
the
you'll
web.
still fucking just not respond with specificity
Well,
because you're a
post
clown
the link
show.
instead of just a cherry-picked bit out of it, and we'll have a look, shall
A
we?
cherry picked bit out of it.
Yep.
What an idiot!
I'm
What
suspicious.
an idiot! You know what define cherry picking?
Yeah, I think you do
Define
it.
it.
And you seem
Define
to
it.
follow his playbook
Hey,
pretty
no,
well.
you just accused me of cherry picking. Do you even
Yeah.
know what it is? Haha, you can't even
Cherry-picking
define it.
I was lighting a cigarette while I was.
How would you
while I
know
was
I'm cherry
waiting
picking if
for
you don't
to
know the
finish
definition of cherry
babbling.
picking?
I do know what the definition of cherry picking
What is it?
Selecting bits out of a piece of information that supports your narrative, but when viewed at the rest
That's
of the
not cherry
document,
picking.
usually it refutes whatever you idiots are saying. So
That's not
why I
what
want to say the
cherry
link.
picking is. You want me to explain to you what cherry picking is?
Well, that is what cherry picking is.
Do you want me to
so
give
I
you
don't
the
think
actual
you know the
definition of it?
now.
Okay, so it's whenever you intentionally and deceptively take a certain part of some type of document or
So where's
reference,
the link to the rest of that then, Austin?
and you present it with the postulation
the
or
link to
claim
the
of
rest-
the
where'd that
exact
page come from
opposite
then?
of what it
So
says
where'd that
in the
page come from?
entirety of context. That's y'all all interrupt me. Y'all are clowns.
Okay, let's have the link for the entirety of that page.
I'm
that you
about
posted
to
up
go
then,
get it,
shall we?
you moron. You should be
Well,
able to
you
look this
don't
up
wanna
for
be
yourself. The
accused of
fact that you've
cherry-picking,
never
you don't
seen this,
cherry-pick one
the
page
fact
out
that
and
you've
not
never
present
seen
the
this
link.
legislation that was signed in
pretty simple.
2014, my friend, the fact you've
Anyone
never
else,
seen
am I
this
wrong
legislation that was signed in
by posting that one
2014.
page up and
Look,
not
he just
the
wants to
link?
interrupt. The fact you had never seen
I'm
this legislation.
sorry.
There you go,
Does it
interrupt again.
Does it
There you
upset
go.
you when other people do what you do constantly?
No,
Jeez,
that you
must
just
be
don't want to hear
frustrating.
me. You're really embarrassed
I
right
don't
now
think
because you
anyone
brought this
really
up
wants
and you
to
just
hear
got dismantled.
honestly.
Now you want to mute me or shut me up because you just got exposed for
Yeah,
your
it's all right,
claim
I'm
on
good.
live. You
I've
just got
got you turned
exposed.
right down, so I don't
You're
have to listen
fucking
to you
objectively
shrill
wrong, and
shrieking.
you're panicking
I've
right now
got
because
you
you're
down
just
at
not
about 9,
you're
and
not
yet
like
I can
mature
still hear
enough.
you shrieking
You're not
quite
mature
well,
enough to
so
just
there's
admit that you were wrong. It's not even on the table for you as an option.
Well, I mean, your previous quotation didn't say that people aren't allowed to go there. It said that your ship may get stopped and searched,
what is my claim?
but it's
What's my
not
original
stopping you
claim
from going
about
there.
it?
So yeah, I don't
What's
think you
my
know what you're
original
talking about.
claim? Stop strawmanning me. What's my original claim about Antarctica?
People can't go to Antarctica, basically.
That's not my
No
claim.
one's
So you're a
allowed to go
fucking
there.
dumbass, dude.
Well,
And that's
actually, it is. I've
why
heard you
that's
say that
why
before.
people don't
So are
even take
people
you
allowed to go
seriously,
there or
dude.
not?
Mike,
Are
what is
people
my
allowed to
claim?
go
You don't
there or
even know
not?
my claim, do you? Because I've
You
said it
don't
3
even know
times.
your
I've said it
claim.
3
You keep
times.
changing your claim and moving the goalposts.
I said no. I've
You
said my
didn't
claim
have
3
the
times.
first
I haven't
fucking
moved
time,
anything.
And that's actually a really good
Okay,
strategy.
well, I'll
because
say
if
my
you don't
claim
know
again,
your
and
own
everyone's
claim,
heard me
how is
say it.
anyone else supposed to?
You cannot privately and freely explore
So-
Antarctica.
You understand that you just need to get a permission from any of
Is
the
that
Antarctic
freely?
Treaty country. Any of the countries that engage in the Antarctic Treaty, they have to ensure certain environmental protections are maintained. Usually the tourist companies are the ones that apply for the permit so that they can operate within their
Is a
within their
tourist company
nations.
private exploration, bro?
We're not.
You know what we're
are we
talking about.
What are you talking about?
A tourist agency approved guided tour. That is not private.
It's not an approved
export.
guided tour. It's just to maintain.
Yes, it is.
Like you can buy packages where you can cross country ski for around Antarctica, right? There's tour companies that do that.
Based on where they let you go, though. My whole argument is they only let you go certain places.
you can go to the South Pole, right? And that just
that's just an arbitrary. That's an arbitrary. That's an arbitrary barbershop pole that they put in the ice and has moved multiple times. Obviously, y'all haven't researched that either.
That's because the ice shelf is moving.
Oh,
so
yeah,
the actual geographic pole moves.
So basically, you're proof of the fact
just walking distance. It moves so slow. It's still within walking distance of.
Yeah, that's a cool fairy tale pseudoscientific story that you're speaking like you know.
Yeah, but the sun goes around you 360
That's another
degrees,
cool
which debunks the flat Earth right there.
I thought we went around the sun. Fucking idiot, dude. So anyway, if I can't go independently, freely validate, explore what's there, you go. Interrupt me again.
Try it. Give it a try. Have you applied to do it? I bet you haven't.
Where are the flat earthers that have tried and been turned back?
Yeah.
Yeah, your question is basically, as opposed to being honest and addressing that, yes, there is legislation agreed upon by every world superpower that they can just immediately seize you at any point in time they fucking want to. You people are sitting here trying to somehow act like that is not really meaning what it says, and that we can just anybody can just go all they want to. And the only reason I just invoked a legislation signed in 2014. You need to keep up. I know it's pretty much impossible for you, though. I left the chat
because I was tired of fucking listening to
Oh, well, now you know that there's a 2014 piece of legislation that you people haven't even read, but then he wants to bring it up telling me that I'm wrong about Antarctica, but he hasn't researched it. It seems a reoccurring theme.
12 pages of it, yeah.
Well, Witsit, I can...
No, you didn't read my document.
Witsit, I can give you a rhyme that is just as logical as yours, okay?
Here we go with some diversion and obfuscation.
And it goes
like a 5-year-old.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, go ahead and obfuscate, 5-year-old.
Stop interrupting people.
So he can obfuscate. Gotcha.
I'm just going to mute you and just fucking talk. Okay, it goes like this. The sexual life of the camel is stranger than anyone thinks. For at the height of the mating season,
what a fucking douchebag.
Chemo, do your job, man.
Victor is clogged by the sands of the Nile, which explains the hump in the camel and the Sphinx's inscrutable smile. There you go.
And everybody here supports that he just did that. That's the funny part. Y'all are really knocking it out of the park, dude. Y'all are really ensuring intellectual productivity in this fucking place, let me tell you.
Logical is yours.
Can anybody respond to the actual argument now, or y'all want to just keep on fucking obfuscating, diverting, and talking about me personally, and then over-talking me? Oh, you can laugh but not respond to the actual evidence that I've just invoked.
I have to lie because, I have to laugh.
You have to laugh because you're incapable of actually responding with specificity or substance. Got it.
I have to laugh.
It's your defense mechanism. I get it. I know.
I have to laugh.
I know it's your defense mechanism. Because you're intellectually ill-equipped for this conversation. It's very evident.
When you talk about defense mechanisms...
Here we go with the guy that does nothing but self-project self-defense mechanisms. And constantly talks about me. Have you responded with any specificity to any of my premise or postulations yet, or you just talk about me every time?
No, because there's no...
Oh, yeah, you talk about me every single time. Yeah. Do you know what an ad hom is? What's an ad hom fallacy?
What's what you say?
What's an ad hom fallacy?
Something is only an ad hom when it is done
as your argument, and that's all you're doing. Haha, you lose. For the 20th time in a row, you lose.
All you've got is nah.
No, ad hom fallacies is whenever your response or rebuttal is a personal attack.
I don't even know what a fallacy is.
No.
That's what an ad hom... Yeah, fallacies, yeah. Yeah, we all know what fallacies are. Logical fallacies are in place to... Listen, logical fallacies were established... Yeah, keep interrupting me. Logical fallacies were established to ensure intellectual consistency. Logical consistency. That's why they're there. Y'all want to ignore them and then invoke them repetitively and then ad hom your way out with obfuscation, diversion, and spiraling
Well,
self-projection.
The thing that you quoted, Witsit, isn't even from the Antarctic Treaty. Quantum erasers just found it. Thanks, Everett, by the way.
What quantum erasers
That's not
found?
the
I
Antarctic
found that.
Treaty.
I found that
That's
3
not-
days
that's
ago
not
on
the
my own.
Antarctic Treaty
Oh, I
is the
found it. I
important
found it
part
on
of
my
that.
own. I
Not
found
the
it on my own.
Antarctic Treaty, though.
Hey, no.
It's
Okay, but
not
real
the
fast.
Antarctic
But
Treaty, Witsit.
I never said it was. I never said it was. It's legislation signed by the U.S. military in 2014.
That is no thing as self-projection.
Okay, there was an Antarctic legislation passed in the 70s, late 70s, I think, by Reagan.
Yeah, but it's not.
And then, why do you have to keep? I didn't say it was, dumbass. My point is that no, I didn't, idiot.
You did.
Okay, what'd I say?
You said the Antarctic Treaty says.
When did I say that?
About 5 minutes ago. Everyone else heard him say.
You mean in the rhyme? Because no, I said Antarctic exploration in the rhyme. So when did I say Antarctic Treaty? Yeah, you don't know anything. You don't even know what you're talking about. You never know what you're talking about. So someone from this server, someone from this server jumped. Someone from this server jumped in and said, well, the Antarctic Treaty doesn't say that. Someone from this server jumped in. There you go, keep interrupting me. Yeah, so someone from this server. No, I posted that page up saying it wasn't from it, idiot.
Yeah, you did.
You're an idiot.
You want to go back and
hey, did anyone hear? Yeah, is this being recorded?
Of course it is.
Okay, so you just expose yourself. No one cares. Did everyone hear me clearly say this was legislation signed in 2014 by the U.S. military right as I posted it?
Yeah, have another snort.
Oh, yeah, see, sorry that you're just an idiot. I have to talk fast because you have to interrupt me. And then your ad hom response, and look at the Gamma, he's excited because he thinks it's funny because he can't respond either.
You're just pissed off that I'm not getting triggered.
No, you strawmanned me by saying that I invoked and said that was the Antarctic Treaty when I literally didn't, and everyone knows I didn't. And you can't even admit that you lied. You're lying again. He's lying. Is anyone else in here gonna call him out for lying, or are y'all all just little bitches? Is anyone gonna call him out for lying, or are y'all all bitches?
What's the claim of the lie? Sorry,
is anyone going to call him out for blatantly? Okay, so earlier, someone from the server from here jumped in and said something about the Antarctic Treaty and brought it up and said, it doesn't say you can't go anywhere. And I said, well, in Article 4, which I think it may be 5, it says it adheres to the 60th South Parallel. It says it adheres to the 60th South Parallel. But I said, but here's what I'll show you where it's very specific. It's a legislation. There we go. I said, you're the one that brought that up. But what I said was a piece of legislation was signed in 2014 by the U.S. military, and here's what it says. And then that dude jumps in 10 minutes later and says the end. This dude's such a clown.
So I'm not American. So
a piece of legislation preventing you from going to Antarctica has nothing to do with Antarctica.
So no American law affects me. Okay, unless I commit a crime.
I never said Antarctic Treaty. I said Antarctic exploration.
Yeah, so the Antarctic Treaty does not. Going down there.
What? I didn't claim anything about the Antarctic Treaty.
Sorry, can I just finish my point very quickly? I'll let you talk.
You are strawmanning me too now?
No, I'm not. I'm trying to just clear up what I understand. I'm not saying this is what you believe. I'm not trying to create your.
Well, why not just respond to my claim, dude?
Which is what a straw man is. So
you're debating a straw man because it's not my claim, bro. Why I'm here? Why are you debating some idea that you want to debate?
What is your claim against about what the Antarctic Treaty says?
I don't have a claim against what the Antarctic Treaty says. See, it's all strawmans. So I made it very clear. Here's a piece of
question. There's a difference. Do you understand the difference between a straw man and a question?
Well, when y'all just want to keep on beating up a straw man because y'all have a predetermined
I haven't done a straw man yet.
Listen, man. Listen, y'all have y'all's argument already built about the Antarctic Treaty. Listen, y'all have. Most of y'all here are comfortable with your argument and stance against flat earthers about the Antarctic Treaty. So when Antarctica comes up, the instinctive response for you guys is to be like, I've read the Antarctic Treaty. You've probably ran across some flat earthers who probably haven't even read it and just claim they're flat earthers. And so you call it out and say it doesn't specifically say you're not allowed to go. And I didn't make that argument, but since that is your predetermined response, that's all that y'all have continuously invoked, and that's what this dude's going to try to do again, guaranteed.
So, yeah, that's the point that Sheeple made there. I think it was Sheeple, who basically made the same point I did. What does US legislation have to do with me?
Oh, well, what I'm saying is, do you know who's at the top of the Antarctic Treaty?
Argentina.
Who's at the
Argentina,
top?
I'm just curious as to
What
what you think the
country
Antarctic Treaty
is at the
says.
top of the Antarctic Treaty?
Argentina.
It'll be
Oh,
Argentina
really?
or Great
Because
Britain,
did you?
probably.
Okay, well, whether y'all acknowledge it or not, then I will admit this is just the U.S.'s claim. The U.S. claimed and established that they were the head of the Antarctic Treaty, the Antarctic Acknowledgement between world. Yes, there's dude, this is signed. I'm telling you what the U.S. signed and passed. I'm not telling you what to think about it. I'm telling you, objectively, they said that they were going to be in charge of ensuring that the Antarctic Treaty was adhered to, and that was decades ago.
America never signed the Antarctic Treaty. You do know that.
Did I say they did?
So how are they at the top of the Antarctic Treaty if they didn't sign it? Maybe you misspoke. Maybe I misunderstood you. I'll give you that generosity.
Yeah, he just realized what he's done.
No, oh my God, y'all are mind-blowingly dumb. So what I said was that the U.S. government passed legislation claiming that they were going to be in charge of ensuring that everyone adhered to the Antarctic Treaty. I'll go get that too. So that is my claim. So stop strawmanning me.
It's not a UN resolution, and it's not binding to anybody that signed it.
Okay, so does every single country that hey, listen, does every single country, does every single
the United Kingdom and the United States,
up.
They're at the bottom of the list.
No, I'm just telling you. I just told you what the U.S. said. I explained my thing. Stop fucking strawmanning me, you 5-year-old mental midgets.
I'm not.
God damn it, it's annoying, bro. Y'all wonder why I lose my cool.
I'm curious though. What is the end result of this, though, Witsit? Are you claiming that people can't go to Antarctica?
Bullshit obfuscation.
I mean, is that the claim? No, I'm just asking you a question.
My claim is very simple.
Is your claim that people can't go to Antarctica? Is that your claim?
I said that we can't privately, freely explore Antarctica.
Absolutely, you can.
But it literally says that past the 60th South parallel, every single country has to adhere to stipulations.
First of all.
And in 2014, they signed a bill that said that they can intercept you. You have no legal protection. They don't have to articulate any form of suspicion. They can take over a vessel, a plane, a boat, and that you cannot stop them. And if you try to stop them, or you try to, if you try to warn, even if you try to warn someone, listen, even if you try to warn someone, even if you try to, no, it's including the ice shelves. Even if you try to,
declaration of war.
Even if you,
it includes the ice shelves, but any ship in water in international waters comes under international maritime law.
Until past the 60th South parallel, they adhere to the treaty.
Nope, and that includes.
So you're saying the treaty's wrong, then? What the treaty says is wrong, then, is what you're saying? Because it says very specifically, this treaty adheres to everything past the 60th South parallel.
Talking about, because
yes, Article 5 in the Antarctic Treaty.
The Antarctic Treaty only talks about the landmass itself and certain portions.
It says anything past the 60th south latitude.
Yeah, land, terrestrial, doesn't it?
So you're saying it says the water past the 60th south latitude is freely open?
Yeah, because it's international waters and you can't fuck with that shit, man.
Okay, does the treaty adhere to everything below the 60th south latitude?
I'm looking at Article 5. That has to do with the use of nuclear.
Well, how about okay, but how about instead of just trying to find out that maybe I'm trying to find what you're talking about. Thank you very much. Wait, so how long have you researched this? Because everyone here knows that in the Antarctic Treaty it says 60th south latitude word for word. So have you actually fucking read it?
Says, reading it to you right now, okay? The provisions.
You don't have to read it to me.
The provisions. Well, we're reading it for everyone in the room, okay? So you can just stay quiet. The provisions of the present treaty shall apply to the area south of 60th south latitude, including all ice shelves, but nothing in the present treaty shall prejudice or in any way affect the rights or the exercise of the rights of any state under international law with regard to the high seas within that area.
Oh, geez.
Okay, cool. So
everyone has the same rights down there.
No, it says what? It says that including the ice shelves and any land past 60th south parallel, the treaty adheres to that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
This was you do know this was right after Operation High Jump by U.S., right? Y'all know that, right?
You know that
that's declassified. So instead of just not responding, can you acknowledge it?
Operation High Jump, you do know that, don't you?
So are you saying that declassified documents of Operation High Jump from the U.S. military are wrong?
Are you talking about Admiral Byrd's?
I didn't say Admiral Byrd, did I?
I'm just asking the question.
See, you have predetermined strawmans once again.
Witsit, can you calm down a bit? I'm not trying to get gotchas. I was asking a question.
No, I don't have to. I don't personally have to stamp anything about that man. He was a high-level Mason. Fuck Admiral Byrd. What I'm saying is, it's declassified to the U.S. military. That everyone has to.
Why are you strawmanning me?
No, you brought up Admiral Byrd, and I didn't.
Why are you strawmanning me?
You brought up Admiral Byrd. I didn't.
No, but you're strawmanning me.
No, you're strawmanning me by bringing up Admiral Byrd, dumbass.
You're strawmanning me, man.
God, you're so exhausting. You're just a liar. How did I strawman you?
Exactly, you didn't. That was the point I was trying to make earlier on. Well done. And I didn't strawman you either. Because you can't strawman someone with a question. I can strawman you by creating your argument for you and then trying to force you into it, which
this is all y'all do, yeah.
No, it's not.
And everyone here knows that y'all just aren't honest enough to admit it. Are y'all this dishonest in real life or just about the globe earth?
I don't know, but are you someone that doesn't actually listen to what people say in real life as much as you do
self-projection because no one can respond to my actual premise. That's funny.
No, I'm trying to actually understand your premise, and every time I try and get
you probably
you tell me
have to listen then.
You by asking you questions about it.
Yeah, anyway. Because you always ask me questions with literally subjective correlations that you prefer to argue against, and you think you're fucking smooth.
Can you give me an example of that?
But you're not. That's like a 5-year-old thing to do.
No, can you give me an example where I've done that?
Yeah, bro. Like whenever I'm talking about anything, and then you bring up yeah, okay. Like whenever you said
example where I've done that.
Okay. When y'all kept bringing up the Antarctic Treaty, but I never even said that. That was just the last one, buddy.
When I joined and I was trying to understand what the argument was about, and you claimed I was strawmanning you for asking questions.
Okay, man. So, anyway, yeah, what I'm saying is I brought up Operation High Jump. I didn't say anything about Admiral Byrd. So, anyway, it's objectively declassified that right after Operation High Jump, within a few years, we signed the Antarctic Treaty. Operation High Jump is when the U.S. military sent out intels to explore Antarctica. This is declassified. So then they gained intel over the course of a few years. They signed the Antarctic Treaty within a year of NASA's foundation. It was only like 13 countries or something, but then the number of countries have increased significantly. Every world superpower adheres to it, and they are to carry out the enforcement to their inhabitants or their population. And once you get there, after getting the permits and approval from the country adhering to the stipulations of the treaty and subsequent legislation, then you can be intercepted at any point in time.
Yeah, the purpose of the treaty is to make sure that...
Save the world and the penguins.
Well, it's because they want Antarctica to remain non-militarized. They don't want it to be trashed. They don't want it to be... they want to preserve it. That's the whole purpose of the treaty.
Yeah, that's the explanation.
So when you apply for a permit, they don't ask you where are you going to go because you can't go these places. No, they're going to be asking questions like,
"That's a lie." Yes, they do.
They're going to have all kinds of things like, what emergency medical resources are you going to be providing in case of a medical emergency? I looked at the application.
You have to say where you're going, so you're wrong.
Of course, they're going to want to know where you're going, but that doesn't mean they're going to say no, you can't go here. They just need to know what parts are you inhabiting. Yeah, but you're claiming that you can apply for the permit, and if they don't like where you're going, they're going to tell you, no, you can't go there?
Yes, they can literally tell you can't go there. That's the whole point of having to apply for the permit.
Yeah, the whole purpose of the permit is to make sure that you pack out whatever you pack in.
It doesn't matter what they told you.
You even have to bring all your poop with you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you do realize it doesn't matter. You do realize that doesn't matter, right? Because my entire argument, you can't privately freely explore it. Now you're trying to justify why they say they put the treaty and stipulations in place. Shifting the goalpost. Nothing to do with quantum eraser, so stop saying that. You're a little liar. You're a little liar.
Onto land or ice shelves or into water in Antarctica, to dispose of any waste onto ice-free land areas or into freshwater systems in Antarctica, to dispose of any prohibited waste in Antarctica, to engage in the open burning of waste, to transport passengers to, from, or within Antarctica by any seagoing vessel not required to comply with the Act to prevent pollution from ships, unless the person has an agreement with the vessel owner or operator under which the owner or operator Yeah, no, this doesn't say anything about people not going there or roaming around freely.
Yeah, so you haven't read it yet. I've read all of it, and you're telling me what it doesn't say because you're actually an idiot. So who's next?
So
has anyone actually read it yet, or y'all just like to make up shit about stuff you're ignorant of?
Cherry pick from, and I think
what does cherry pick mean?
You were cherry picking from this.
What's cherry pick mean?
Yeah, disputes what you say.
Well, define cherry picking.
S2403 prohibited acts.
Y'all are like talking to literally 5-year-olds.
And moron, yes.
I just defined cherry picking for you. You accused me of it.
And
Do you know what it means?
You did exactly that. You cherry picked it.
What is cherry picking?
You took a piece out that supported your narrative, but didn't give us the bits that actually disputed what you were saying.
No, okay,
I just had a look at, and it does that. So yeah.
Okay, which part disputes what I said?
Yeah.
No, actually, cherry. Yeah, pretty much. But I didn't do that. He just saying I did it.
Pretty much. Yeah, so don't,
cherry picking is when you intentionally take out a certain part of it and then leave out the part that would intentionally.
About the definition.
Yeah, he has to interrupt me, Curve. I know you're a little pussy, bro, but no one cares. No one cares.
You're interrupting everyone with it.
Curve is such a bitch. It's wild, dude. And the fact that y'all like let him run rampant here really reflects the type of character.
No, you're not.
Oh, I don't. I bite right.
I don't run rampant.
It's just annoying.
You're not a tough guy, Graham.
All he does is jump in and talk shit. That's all he does.
I don't need to be a tough guy to be tougher than you.
Well, what are you trying to do right now?
I don't know, but I guarantee you that you're overweight. I guarantee you're overweight. You're balding. You hate your life, and you're really lame.
Showing how tough you are.
Are you balding and overweight and hate your life?
In front of everyone.
He does.
That's very tough guy material, Grim.
Yeah, we get it. You're overweight. You're balding. You hate your life, and you're oddly obsessed with me, even though you say I'm
fantastic behavior. My God, you scored some great points.
Okay.
Antarctic Treaty and says what we're saying with it, so we are correct, you are wrong.
Actually, have you read the 2014 legislation yet?
Yep, we're reading that at the moment.
Okay, so tell me exactly how it says that I can just... What?
And nowhere in it does it say what you're saying with it.
What did I say?
You are wrong.
What did I say? Yeah, you're an idiot.
I'm just saying whatever you're
just saying you don't ever know what all you people jump in and say, Austin, what you said, that's not true, you're wrong. And then I say, how so? And then it gets dead silent, and then Curve jumps in talking shit.
Yeah, that's exactly the distraction.
Explain. Cherry picking is an accusation that what I provided is the exact opposite of what it says, and I intentionally deceived. Provide evidence of that, please.
That's not cherry picking. Cherry picking is basically taking certain phrases out of a document without representing the entire context of the document.
When in context, it would actually not support your point. That's what cherry picking is. When presented in context, it actually wouldn't support your point if that's your accusation. Please tell me how so.
Important to hear than anybody else.
Yeah, it's still in context, though.
Anybody else finish?
Yeah, okay. If that gets you to shut the fuck up, whatever.
You guys aren't being reasonable with it.
They can't respond to it. It says that you can be arrested and seized at any point in time. They can inspect any vehicle they want to at any point in time. Does it say that, or yes or no?
It does. Look at that.
Okay, that was my claim, and that's what it says. Move on.
Moving on.
Except
you can't win them all, fellas.
Have you actually read section? I think.
Oh my God! Does it say that you can be seized and inspected at any point in time? Yes or no?
Oh, is it 2507?
It does. Look at that.
Oh, it does say that. It does say that's crazy.
Look at that. It does say that.
Oh, it literally, in fact, it says if you try to warn someone else, you can go to jail too.
That kind of contradicts what we're trying to say to the flat earthers about it, doesn't it?
The simple question on the table.
I would think so.
Why would American law
at least I'm reasonable.
affect me in a foreign country that's not America when I'm not committing a crime against the US?
Okay, what country are you from?
You're over there.
What country are you from?
Antarctica doesn't belong to America, mate. That's
what country are you from then?
There's someone there representing your country.
Okay, have you looked up all UK legislation about Antarctica yet?
Have I looked up all of it? I doubt you have looked up any legislation.
I just looked up America because I live here. Have you looked up where you live since you're arguing about how you know everything? What was the most recent
down there? And
that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. Red herring fallacy. Red herring fallacy. Yeah, anecdotal bullshit. Red herring fallacy.
Dear God. Okay, I'll tell you what, Witsit. I'm just going to put you down to 1% now because you're actually not worth engaging
that's cool.
with.
So yeah, you just brought up that someone went on an approved guided tour to Antarctica, and somehow that has something to do with the fact.
No, that's not what I said. Wait 1 second, Witsit.
That ain't what he said.
Because
okay, you're right. I made an assumption. So explain yourself.
So one of my relatives studies penguins. He goes down to Antarctica. Well, he doesn't anymore because he's in his 70s, so he's retired. But he used to go down to Antarctica every other year to help with the penguin survey and studies.
They require approval?
Around the coast, he has been on the ice shelves, and he's been into the interior where the king penguins breed.
Does it require approval?
Does it require approval? No, he's got. Yeah, we have to get a permit. The same as I need approval to come to the US. I need a visa to come to the US. You need to have entry requirements to come to the UK. So yeah, there's visa requirements which are established through the Foreign Commonwealth Office or the Foreign Office, which is
that's not the only requirements though. Visa requirements are
mechanism.
That's not the only requirement though. So what? Then you have to get additional permits. Do you have to get?
It's not even that easy to cash
permits?
a check anymore if you don't have a banking account.
No, I'm not saying that it's not reasonable to travel, that you have to have like a passport or something. But this is a little different because when you go to America, dude, bro, I've let you talk that whole time, dude. And then I was gonna respond, and as soon as I started, you just interrupt. That is not true.
Once.
I let him talk the whole time right then, dude.
Oh, you're getting tag teamed. That's all this is.
That's all they can do. So I'm saying, you said, well, what does the U.S. matter? Well, that's where I live. Okay. So you're saying that it's different in the UK where you live, apparently. So what's the most recent legislation signed by the UK? Let's see if you know.
Go.
I don't see the relevance.
He just said that what I brought up didn't matter because it was about America, and then he said he was from UK, so I said, well, what's the most recent Antarctic legislation signed by the UK?
What is its relevance to the topic?
Because, well, the relevance was his rebuttal was that my postulation and evidence was insufficient because it's from the US.
At least he knows that Antarctica actually exists.
And who needed to
look, that's the best I got, dude. That's so bad. Yeah, this is pathetic.
The relevance explained to them just now.
It was an attempt to obfuscate, dude.
Does Antarctica?
What?
Define Antarctica.
Yeah. Like someone other day, I said falsifications independent, and they said, you're using the word independent wrong.
The Americas.
Well, can you use it independently in a sentence, please?
I was like, falsification is not dependent on
1994 legislation, the Antarctic Act of 1994.
94, what you said?
1994.
Where that's the UK, right?
That's the UK.
Would you mind sending that to me, bro? Because I've never read it.
There you go.
Thanks, man.
Google is your friend.
Well, I never felt the need to research every other country in the world.
Of course you didn't.
Well,
y'all haven't even researched the U.S.
Neither did you, so quit acting like he's a specific example.
Well, I researched I researched the U.S. where I live.
Which is logical and reasonable. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean,
well, actually,
I'm actually interested in reading the UK now that... What?
It's not, you guys are acting like he just said, fuck that, I'm not reading that UK one. That's not how he responded, though. So
I didn't respond like that.
No, not you, him. He didn't respond like that. He didn't say, fuck that. And he goes, oh, no, can you pass me that? I'll read that. Thank you, I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, but guarantees you he'll read it wrong and say we can't go that UK.
Well, let him go. What's the matter with that?
Because all flat earthers do that.
Bro, wait. Can we agree that there's only one piece of land in the whole world that everyone's agreed on, that no one's going to conquer or take advantage of and claim? That's the one, and the excuse is environmental reasons. Now, I understand the excuse, and look, when I say it's an excuse, look, right? I call it the reason, and like, dude, I'm not gonna lie and say there's not anything logical to that. Like, it is a somewhat logical excuse, bro. But like, the honest thing to do would just acknowledge, like, well, yeah, it's kind of logical why they say that we can't go, and they like, they watch it and shit.
We can't go.
We can't go on our own. Like, they have to make sure we know what we're doing because they say they have to take care of it.
Then
and like, if globe earthers, if globe earthers would just honestly absorb that and be like, yeah, I can see how you can say it's kind of weird because
just need proper approval.
Not all of us think like this.
Anyone can go.
You just found a room that really likes to make each other happy.
Yeah, I can honestly say, I honestly think that this is an attempt to support like confirmation bias or cognitive dissonance because like the Earth can still be a globe and you acknowledge this.
Exactly.
That's what's so weird,
I
man.
acknowledge that every
There's nothing
person
to
on
fear
Earth
here.
can go to Antarctica if they had the proper funds and they went through the proper channels. Anyway,
Right.
But that's not-
That means
really
that's
true,
not
though.
freely, privately exploring then.
Yeah,
So in the if you're gonna be honest about the conversation, bro, like in
How
the
many
idea
felons
that they're lying about what the Earth is, the one thing that would definitely substantiate it was a
they're
ball
not
would
lying
be
about what the
north
Earth
to
is. What are you
south.
talking about?
It would be
What
north to
about all
south
these people that
circumnavigation.
have done solo treks across the continent?
Oh yeah, all these people. Feel free
Well,
to
they were
provide the
following a
evidence. I've
compass,
researched
right?
all
I
of
mean-
them, so provide it.
If they're following a
And while
compass,
you're at
then,
it, provide their trajectory,
Trajectory.
their route.
Do you want it from Google, from a satellite, or from a ball of yarn?
Yeah, I don't. You think that's funny? But I've researched every
I
single
do.
one. So how about you bring one up because I've already researched them all.
No,
Dumbass.
I'm asking. No, I'm asking from a silly point of view, jackass. I'm not
Sorry.
trying to be-
I'm sorry, but I'm just like on the offensive right now, bro. Because I was like,
Yeah,
it's hard to even like talk in here, you know. So.
No,
that are
don't be. Don't let it get to you like
normal
that, because they'll do
Yeah,
it.
sorry, bro.
You're good.
So tell me about this guy, Colin O'Brady. What was his deal? What's it?
Well,
What was his deal? Are you saying he did north to south circumnavigation, right?
I'll put it in for you. There you go.
All right, I'm gonna do a bong rip for you guys.
What is that? That was the whole circumnavigation route?
Stuck that deep.
No, I put in exactly what you wanted. There you go.
Are you serious right now?
You've read all of these accounts of people going to Antarctica. Does that?
Wow,
does
this
that
dude thinks this
really
proves
mean
it?
that people can go to Antarctica?
Do you think that proves it right there? That picture?
No, I said you have read all this documentation.
Yeah.
There are random people who have gone to Antarctica. Doesn't that prove that people have gone to Antarctica that
No.
are just random citizens?
No, there's no
They're independent
empirical. There's no empirical continuous documentation
There's a
of the
trajectory.
I
mean, a route.
Thanks for.
I didn't say that. What y'all don't even listen, bro. You predetermine what you're gonna say. No, I'm not. I said there's no documentation to prove it. How am I moving the goalpost?
Yes. What about the people who actually went and they documented what they did?
There might not be, but this is my positive claim of circumnavigation that proves the Earth's ball. But I don't have any evidence. But Austin, this is your problem somehow.
You're spiraling, Witsit. You're
No, I'm
spiraling
not.
bad,
No, I'm
bro.
not. I'm making fun of you guys.
No, I never said anything about the shape of the Earth.
So you're making a positive claim. This dude did north to south circumnavigation, but there isn't any evidence of it.
I never
Okay,
made
then
that
why'd
claim,
you bring him up then?
Guys.
Oh, Scott's trying to obfuscate already.
No, you guys are gangbanging him.
Can anybody respond? Why'd you bring him up?
People went to Antarctica. People went to Antarctica.
So
They
you are
documented what
making
they
the
did.
claim then.
No, I'm saying people have made the claim that they have gone to Antarctica and they documented what they did there. And then
People have made the claim that
extrapolating
Jesus
it
talked to
that
him and
way.
told him to wipe out a church.
I am not finished.
But we don't.
Finish what I'm
We
saying.
don't have the video and the photograph.
Guys, can we go back to one at a time mode? Because I'm trying to catch up and I can't understand anything.
There's no documentation or evidence of your positive claim of circumnavigation, period.
Would you let is it okay if Lel just finishes what he's trying to say and then we'll let you say what you want to say?
Yeah, he's trying to obfuscate. Yeah, let's let him go.
Be very careful in listening because I never say anything about circumnavigating and I never say anything about the shape of the Earth.
So you're obfuscating because that's what we were talking about.
Finish. People.
Lel, just make it short and sweet. Short and sweet, Lel.
People have went to Antarctica. They documented what they did on Antarctica, traversing what they traversed on Antarctica, and nowhere in that traversal did they talk about circumnavigation or the shape of the Earth. They just talk about what they did when they were in Antarctica. Period.
Well, we're talking about circumnavigation, so you jumped in and obfuscated. Thanks. So we'll move on now.
When I came in the room, you said no one could go to Antarctica.
We were all talking about circumnavigation, and you obfuscated.
Lel, is that the point you wanted to make, though, is that people went and they documented it? That's your point, right?
Nowhere in their documentation do they ever talk about circumnavigation.
Okay, thanks, man, because that's my point.
What's it?
Here, I'm
Just
so
need a,
so
an
incredibly
archive
shocked that
of-
Scott's biased.
So Witsit, no, I'm trying to give you some room to speak now. Witsit, just relax. In order to get it one at a time, though, you have to stop. You know, someone's got to be the one to stop. So anyway, so now you heard his point. It's on you now. Witsit.
No, that's not.
Interrupt him,
No, that's
please.
not. My friend, that's not how that worked. We talked about Antarctica. I don't know how long you've been here for, like probably 20 minutes, dude. And I even went and got documents and shit. And now we're talking. Someone said that there was north to south circumnavigation. How do you explain that, Witsit? And then they posted something. I said, can you show me the route and the documentation and evidence that they did that? And then they said, I'm not claiming you did that. Well, yeah, you literally just did. So if there is not any evidence of north to south if there isn't any evidence of north to south circumnavigation, then we should just be intellectually honest and concede, well, it is pretty inconvenient that would prove the Earth's a ball, but you can't go privately do it freely.
Okay. Since I'm the one that was addressing the people who have been to Antarctica, I never said anything about circumnavigation, and I've made it abundantly clear that the people documenting what they did in Antarctica said nothing about that. So why are you trying to change the goalpost?
No, that means that we were already talking about circumnavigation. That's what I said.
No,
and then, yes.
No, you added that.
Let him
That
finish
came
what
in
he's
later.
saying, guys. Come on.
But Scott, what is the north to south circumnavigation of Antarctica?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
I never said that.
No, it doesn't.
I never said that.
Said it.
No, I didn't.
You lying fuck.
Okay, so north to south circumnavigation is obviously travel around the whole world,
Scott,
and you're going to go over the bottom of the ball and come back up on the other side. I believe you.
Well, if we
The guy that's literally the dumbest person here, you believe him. Gotcha.
how about if we
Curved is pretty dumb. He's never said anything about the point.
I'm telling you, he's really not. He really.
Well,
isn't.
then that just shows
Whatever
he's
doing-
being a douchebag. Then.
So the
Well,
question
anyway,
I would say is if we have circumnavigated the continent of Antarctica, so if we've gone round that continent, what about that?
Can you provide evidence of that, please?
Yeah, I've already posted it.
Okay, and
So
it was documented.
that's
The whole travel was documented.
Yeah.
How so?
I posted the evidence.
I'm saying, how was it documented?
I posted the evidence.
Why can't you just answer the question if you know all about it?
I
Why
don't
do you
know.
keep
Maybe if I
interrupting?
maybe if I can finish a fucking sentence, I would.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Cool. I have posted the site to the sailworld.com where it is discussing an article on the Antarctic Cup yacht race. It's something that's run, I think, every 3 or 4 years, and it's been done for a reasonable period of time. So why don't we go and explore that as a topic?
That was your response to, is there physical empirical evidence and documentation of the route?
Interested if there is?
So all y'all ever do is obfuscate. This is pretty bad.
No. I'm asking a question, Witsit. Are you interested if there is data for this? Because that's what I'm saying. Why don't we go together now and have a look and see if we can find out some more about this?
Well, if someone wrote down in a journal that they were traveling a certain amount of days, and then someone told me that they mapped that around the Earth being a ball, that doesn't prove shit. But if there's actual documentation,
I'm not making that claim. I'm just talking about someone going round the continent of Antarctica.
My friend, you see why? My friend, to be honest, you see why I asked you just to specify, just to try. I was just trying to save us time. Like I'm not scared of anything you're talking about. I just want to like make sure we're on the same page. Like what you know is it. Right, I'm just explaining to you what I genuinely consider to be sufficient empirical evidence beforehand, so we can be more efficient. That's all I'm doing.
So
I was just asking you to clarify, like, how did he document?
What don't you guys like about this guy, man? He's
nothing. I've not got a problem.
Nice.
I'm just trying to find out what his criteria for empirical evidence is. That would be a good start. That is
Well, trying to make it about people. Why are you
What?
trying
No,
to start
because you're acting so personal about it. You're acting.
He makes
I haven't
It's in the
said
tone of
anything
your
personal
voice.
about him, but apart from point out that he's using the straw man wrong.
Okay, this guy, yeah, you're one of the better ones. I'll give you that, bro.
Yeah, we know.
yacht race
Druss, you
is
know,
about
you're not. We're not just attacking you, right? You know the other people in the room are the ones that I'm talking about that are doing it, and you know which ones are doing it. So don't defend it by saying I'm not doing that, because you know it is happening. It might not be you personally, but it is happening. That's all I'm saying.
The person who wins the yacht race is a person, and we can point to him for his record of what happened.
How do we substantiate with the actual route of the race?
Around Antarctica is the route.
Well, yeah, so how do we
Oh,
differentiate
God.
that's going around the ice cap at the
Is
bottom
the
of the
route.
ball? You can't just say that. That's what's in contention, my friend.
I never said anything about a ball. I just said
No, what's in
round.
contention is that what you're claiming that would be, which is around the ice cap
I never
at
claimed
the
it was
bottom of a
anything. I said it was around the continent. According
Okay,
to
around the continent is saying that the Earth's a ball, Antarctica's a continent on the bottom of
I
it.
never said that, and it didn't say that. You're reading it.
Okay, so you're not claiming the Earth's a ball.
I never said that.
I thought that's what we were
said
talking
around
about.
anything. I said around the continent.
I thought we were talking about whether or not we knew if the Earth was a ball.
We're talking about whether or not people have sailed around the continent of Antarctica.
So the question is what exactly was the route that they sailed? You can't just map it onto a spherical assumption and say, look, this is mapped out on a ball. That means it happened on a ball. Well, that's my rebuttal because But my friend, that's the relevance of the conversation. That's why I'm
they want
here.
you to take each individual step with them. So it looks like they got you there. When
Yeah,
in
I know.
fact, you already leaped over them and tried to circumnavigate their argument, so to speak.
Alright, you gotta remember you're calling into a mental institution.
David just started talking, which proves it.
I looked at it.
Well, all right. So
and it looks like
that
the
this
route
was like
is
what's funny is
open- hey, here, listen. The route is any open sea between the 40 and 50 latitude mark.
okay. So what's
That was
funny is
antagonistic.
the whole like out of the whole rhyme. I jumped on my Looney Tunes, said the rhyme and stuff, and every time the only one the Glober wants to hone in on is Antarctica, which I think is a testament to how scared you are of the other arguments.
There are no other arguments.
Okay, what?
Witsit, I'm a flat Earth skeptic. Yeah, I'm really skeptical about the flat Earth. So if you have compelling evidence for a flat Earth, then I'm very interested in hear whatever you have.
Why don't you adhere to those parameters when looking at the globe Earth model?
I do.
Oh, really? So are you skeptical of the globe Earth?
I'm skeptical
Well, I think he's making. I think he's making a point.
Wait, no, he's
Yes,
making a point to try to inadvertently shift the burden of proof to me presenting some evidence of a flat Earth model he wants me to claim so he can poke holes in it so he doesn't
Right.
have to defend the globe Earth model.
Right.
But
like you have the
falsification's independent of
pleasure
replacement.
doing.
You know?
Right, but like you think you have the pleasure of doing those. There's like it's like my model against your model.
No, I'm not
My
claiming a model though,
exists.
and I don't claim a model.
Right, I
man.
know, and you're smart enough not to because you don't have one, which is very fatalistic for your
Well,
argument.
we don't have access to all the information. If we can't privately explore below the 60 South parallel, how can we have adequate land out of land?
Why are you so focused on Antarctica? Are you scared?
How can we have? No, did you hear what I'm saying? If we don't know what's beyond the 60th, if we don't know what's beyond the 60th south latitude, there's no way we can adequately have.
We do. We do.
Oh
know what's below
fuck,
the
man!
60th
Y'all
parallel.
don't even know what my premise was yet. Jesus, bro.
Go on, Karen, please finish. Please, no, let him finish.
If we don't know the entirety of the Earth, it is impossible, in fact, a futile pursuit, to try to map out definitive layouts of land.
And what parts of the Earth do you think we haven't seen or explored in some way, shape, or form?
We can't privately explore past the 60th south latitude.
Well, that's wrong. If I'm in a fishing boat fishing for profit, I can go anywhere below the 60th parallel.
Can you go up to the ice shelf and then go explore it?
I can literally go up to the ice shelf. I can't land on it because I'm in a fishing boat. But I can take a fishing boat and I can sail anywhere within the 60th parallel and below.
Yeah, that's cool. That doesn't help us, does it? Because where that land starts is what's in contention, buddy.
That people go and fish there commercially.
That doesn't matter, though, because the land is what's in contention.
You don't need to interrupt.
The land is in contention.
Yeah, but what about
along the 60th parallel?
Are you really
the
even on
land is in contention.
But you said you can't go past the 60th parallel.
Okay, to the past. Okay.
I mean, truthfully,
the
how do we know
Antarctic
there's
Treaty
even land
adheres to
there?
everything past the 60 south latitude. We can't go to the land past that and explore it, so I can't map out the land on Earth accurately It's called being intellectually honest. Something you people know nothing about, because instead of providing evidence for your positive claim that the Earth's a magic spinning ball, you want me to somehow absorb a model so you can straw man it.
If you can circumnavigate it, isn't that enough?
Well, you just can't claim it.
No, but if you can circumnavigate it, then you don't need. Then you can prove that it's a continent.
You do know that
Not a
I
ring.
said, well, can you provide documentation that that route of spherical assumption is accurate, please?
Yes.
Yeah, we've got the Antarctic yacht race, which has to stay within the 50th and 60th parallel.
Have you watched the route of that race?
I haven't personally watched it, no. But do you have any?
I mean the
reason-
route. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No. One second. Do you have any reason to believe that this is a false race or some sort
No,
of
no.
conspiracy
I'm
lie?
saying. Have you seen
Okay,
the routes
so-
of the
So
race?
someone I have met, I can talk.
Have you seen the routes of the
Wait, one
race,
second.
bro?
No, I haven't.
Well, then you're making a claim you're uninformed about.
I've posted the routes, so I've seen the route from that perspective. But have I actually been down to that area and gone round that?
No,
route?
that's not what
I
I'm
have
asking, bro. I'm not asking
no,
that.
I've
That would
seen
be
the route.
unreasonable
Yes, I have seen
to
the route,
ask.
and I posted.
Okay.
And I posted an image. I don't like being dishonest, Witsit. I will tell
Okay,
you the
so
truth.
is it 57?
No, it's between the 50. You can sail anywhere between the 50 and 60th
No. What
parallel.
time is the picture or whatever the routes?
What do you mean? What time is the picture?
Like, is it
I
at
mean,
57 after the hour, or where's it at?
Oh, I see. Sorry. Yeah, no worries. I'll repost it again just to make it easy, mate. I'm all for an easy life for everybody, because that's what we should do for each other.
So this is about the race is around Antarctica, right?
Yep.
Okay.
There you go. That's the route.
So I guess if we were
What,
like going around
what's
the
the route?
outside
The
edge
colored
of the
ring?
Asm,
Yeah, the coloured ring. That's the ring between the
Moonstone
50th
map.
and the 60th parallel.
All right. So we would have to have some documentation that is actually going around the continent like that.
Mm-hmm. So, and that race has been run. So we've got people who've done it. I was actually going to.
I don't dispute the race has been run, my friend.
I was actually going to go to someone I've met, whose evidence I have seen. I even own one of his books. And he's a British explorer called David Hempelman Adams. And he's a fascinating guy.
Don't you think it would be way easier if we didn't have to like rely on the handful of people that claim to do it without visual and empirical evidence?
I've got a member of my family that's done it.
Well, you just think
there.
about the top speed of the
I've
boat.
met someone that's shown me
You
lots
have
of
to travel.
pictures, including his preparation and the work that he's done before he's gone down there.
I don't dispute he went there, bro.
Showing me, again, with more evidence supporting what he's already told me.
What did he tell you? That he went all the way around the continent?
No. This guy climbed the. Sorry, can I just finish my point before?
But you're kind of scattergunning, my friend.
I'm not. I'm talking about someone that has travelled in Antarctica extensively. He's climbed the highest peak on every single fucking continent.
And
that's what his records. That's one of his records.
And that somehow means there's a ball.
No, that means that he's been there.
I don't dispute some people have been there.
And it's a large landmass because he's flown over it. He's
flown all the way over Antarctica?
And he's walked... Did I say all the way over?
Well, that's what we're talking about.
No, because it doesn't matter. All I need to show that it's not a fucking wall, that it's a continent.
No, I don't claim what it is, buddy.
We can go round it.
I don't claim what it is.
We've flown across it.
If we know
We've
it's a land
walked
mass,
mostly across it, and people have explored it.
You're
So
just
what more
making
documentation do we need?
blind claims. So what?
No, they're not blind claims because in my hands at the moment, because I went to my bookshelf, I'm holding his book.
Oh, he has a book. Holy fuck! It must be true.
No, because
when there are little gremlins and people that can wear rings and get superpowers.
We can look at all the images and the pictures. We can look at the anecdotes. I've met him personally. I've seen some of his personal video from this trip.
But what specifically?
So what reasonable reason do I have to discount his claim?
What is his claim? What specifically is his claim that you're invoking?
The claim that he has been to Antarctica.
I never disputed that.
And he's explored significant portions of it.
Okay, I never disputed that people have gone to Antarctica and explored parts of it. We did it in the fucking 40s, dude. It's been declassified.
Then what's your issue? What is your
My
point?
issue is we can't independently validate the shape claim of the Earth and the fact that they claim that the continent of Antarctica is an ice cap on the bottom of a ball, and that if we could indeed go over top of that and come back over the ball, us stupid flat earthers would be shut down definitively. Isn't it convenient? We can't go independently try that.
Go hire a yacht, run in the next race, go around Antarctica, and you'll see for yourself. You'll independently verify for yourself instead of relying on third-hand information, which you obviously don't accept.
So you're saying if I go sail in the water and I come back around in a race, I'm going to know what I sailed around and the nature of the mapping out of the continent. That's what you're saying?
If it's shorter than the equator, yes.
No, you are assuming I'm claiming an ice ring. But in addition, even if I was, it doesn't matter. What if there's a landmass there that you can go around, and then there's even more land that we don't go to?
You went around it, so hence there can't be. Only what's inside the circle.
No, that's
can
assuming the
exist.
Earth's a ball, dude.
No, only what's in the circle.
The circle could be huge, dude.
Yeah,
I never said
the circle is measured.
What an idiot.
The circle is measured by the root.
What?
Exactly.
The circle is measured by the root.
How did you validate the projection onto the sphere?
Doesn't matter. It took him
It doesn't
14,000 miles. Quiet. He took him only 14,000 miles. You know, whatever inside of it has to be less than 14,000 miles.
All right.
And we know if we travel north from Antarctica, we hit South America, we hit Australia, and we hit South Africa.
Oh, Earth must be a ball then.
Yes,
Yeah,
congratulations.
so stupid.
That's a reasonable inference, yeah.
Well, if that's
Would I
how
say
you
no?
people
No.
operate, then whatever. So we can move on because y'all want to talk about this for 40 minutes, dude. But the very beginning of the rap is my premise.
Well, let us move on. Hold on. Let us move on to another topic, because I was in 24/7 yesterday.
Let's give you a hand clap, by the way, for finally figuring out what the rest of us have known.
Some of your crew was saying absolutely ridiculous. Hey, Witsit, yesterday in 24/7, some of your fellow flat earthers were making absolutely ridiculous comments that you were agreeing with.
Okay, what?
One guy was saying, "Oh, if the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles per hour, then planes would take longer to fly one direction than the other because they never get anywhere."
What did I say? Yeah, cool fucking story. You're just a douchebag too, I guess. What I say?
You said, well, the Globers are claiming. This is what you said. You said, well, the Globers are claiming that the air is moving with the Earth, so the air would be moving at 1,000 miles per hour, but that would still prevent the airplane from going the other way because it'd have to. Oh, what did you say then?
And you know it's recorded, right?
So do you not agree? Do you not agree with that then? Do you agree that that's a ridiculous statement?
Well, how about I actually say what I said?
Well, I'm asking you a direct question now. Do you agree that that's a ridiculous statement?
I'm going to explain what my stance is.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, and it was recorded, so I don't know why you think you get away with lying. I guess because people here just don't care if you're lying. So anyway, I specifically jumped in and said, well, to specify so you understand, because it was a new guy, I'd never heard about the topic. I said, well, if the atmosphere was moving with the Earth, then there would be a singular frame of reference, and then, in theory, you wouldn't have any type of differentiation. But they actually claim that they move independently of one another, the Earth and the atmosphere, and that we have Coriolis. And in fact, Neil deGrasse Tyson, a prominent scientist, said that field goals can be made or missed because of it. And I said, based on that claim, there would be a differentiation based on direction of travel because the Earth is rotating east.
Right, that's kind of what I was getting at, okay? I wasn't able to paraphrase you exactly. So please explain to me why you believe that to be the case.
Because if it's two frames of reference and the atmosphere is moving independent of the Earth, there would be a differential there inherently. That's what your model claims anyway.
What do you mean by that? I don't understand.
Your model claims Coriolis because the atmosphere doesn't move perfectly attached to the ball.
Coriolis. Well, just imagine that we're flying.
No, you don't get to just pick and choose parts of your religion,
We're not talking. I don't want to get more. I don't want to bring in more variables than we need. We're just flying east or west on the equator, which means there's zero Coriolis. Okay, we're flying east to west or west on the equator. Please explain to me why the airplane in our model should take more time to fly one direction versus the other.
Is the atmosphere move in unison with the Earth or separately?
It's moving. It moves. more or less in unison with the Earth, because there is viscous drag that the Earth puts on the atmosphere, but the atmosphere is not tied to the Earth, so the atmosphere is able to move independently of the Earth. Although there are forces that make it move towards the direction of rotation because of that viscous drag with the surface of the Earth.
Okay, so does it move with the Earth or independently?
Predominantly, it does move with the Earth, yes.
Predominantly?
But not at all times, which is how we get the jet streams. Because when the atmosphere moves from the lower latitudes to the higher latitudes, it will retain the energy from the lower latitudes, which is why we have west to east jet streams all over the Earth.
Okay, so you're just scattergunning now, so.
But no. So please explain to me.
Yes, he is.
So please explain to me. Okay, we're back to just the plane flying east or west.
Two frames of reference. Either you claim that the atmosphere works in unison and moves in unison.
Let's just say, for the sake of argument, it moves in unison.
You just want to talk.
For the sake of argument, let's just say it moves in unison. Now, please explain to me why the airplane would take.
So it's not for sake of conversation.
Accurate definition. I said it predominantly moves in the direction
There's no predominantly.
of rotation.
Yes, there is.
No, it's either it moves in unison with it or it's an independent frame of reference.
That's a false dichotomy. That's
no,
a completely false dichotomy. Of course it is.
Is it the same frame of reference or is it a different frame of reference?
What do you mean a frame of reference?
Y'all can't answer shit.
All frames of reference exist simultaneously. So what are you talking about?
Is the atmosphere the same frame of reference as the Earth, or is it an independent frame of reference?
It's neither, you fuckwit.
I don't understand the question. It's a mouthful question.
We know.
He doesn't understand what he's even asking.
So again, let's just say for the sake of Witsit, let's just say for the sake of argument that the atmosphere moves with the Earth.
So it's the same frame of reference.
Why does the airplane?
Witsit, you fucking retard.
Go on.
Why does it take longer to fly east versus west? If we agree that the atmosphere moves lockstep with the surface of the Earth,
we don't agree with that though, because
the model says.
Well, that's my whole.
Let's just pretend like it does, okay?
I don't want to play pretend. That's what you do.
More or less.
There is no more or less, Jake, on the plane. There is no more or less.
Okay,
what do you mean? What do I mean?
So you know that, like, if I spin a bucket, the water in the bucket will move more or less with the spinning bucket, but not exactly lockstep with the bucket, right?
Okay. So they're not moving in
So
tangent.
when it comes to examining the movement of fluids, they don't move. Fluids will not move one way. Oh no, it's either exactly lockstep with the Earth or it isn't. It's not one or the other.
Yes, it is.
There's a. Why would that be the case?
No one cares. So because either the atmosphere is moving exactly with the Earth or it's moving independent of it. It could be very close, but if it's very close, that means it's moving independent.
The predominant forces on the atmosphere.
The predominance doesn't have any
Earth.
bearing in this conversation, dude. I just explained it. If it's even the slightest different, then it's a different frame of reference, objectively.
Okay, you're not using frame of reference correctly. You know, all frames of reference exist simultaneously, right? And you don't.
Okay, but does that mean that they're all the same?
Object doesn't just leave a frame of reference the way that flat earthers claim.
I didn't say that. Go straw man. You're just obfuscating because you can't answer my question.
So you won't answer the question. Okay.
No, you're not answering the question. Everyone just heard it.
Okay, let's assume that for the sake of argument, to simplify things, I will say, okay, the globe earthers say the atmosphere moves lockstep with the surface of the Earth.
That's not what they say,
though.
We'll just
go with that.
No, we're not going to just go with that.
It doesn't matter.
Because that's
doesn't matter because that was what you said last night. You said the globers claim that the atmosphere moves.
That's not what I said.
With the surface of the Earth.
I claimed the opposite of that. And it was recorded. It was recorded, dude. I said that either
I'll go find the recording if we need to.
Okay, go find it, douchebag.
But
I'm saying verbatim what I said.
Okay, go ahead.
So you just have to straw man me, bro. So
go ahead.
I'll say it again. This was recorded last night. So I explained to the guy because he'd never heard it. I said either the atmosphere is moving with the ball as it spins or it's moving separately from it. Now, the globe Earth model claims that it moves separately from it. And they even claim Coriolis. And then I told him, Neil deGrasse Tyson, one of the most prominent, propped up, quote-unquote, scientific communicators, tweeted that it would even affect a field goal because the atmosphere moves independent of the globe Earth. Now, the reason that you don't want to absorb that is you can't argue your own model. So you want to say, well, for sake of conversation, let's just say it moves with it, even though that's not what my model claims.
Well, actually, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Okay, so to make things simpler, let's look at it from both directions and see. In either case, does the airplane take longer to fly east or west? So we'll do it both ways.
No, it doesn't, because the Earth isn't spinning.
We'll do it both ways, okay? Let's look at it both ways. For the first, in the first example, we'll look at what happens to the airplane when it's flying east or west, and the atmosphere is moving lockstep with the surface of the Earth. And in the other example, we'll pretend the atmosphere isn't moving lockstep with the surface of the Earth.
Why are we pretending? I thought you knew this was reality. I thought you knew this was definitive reality.
Engaging in an intellectual discussion.
No,
So
you're trying to obfuscate away from your actual model's claim and make one up that isn't what your fucking model claims.
The model's claim is that the atmosphere moves predominantly in the direction
that
of
isn't
the
the
Earth.
No, there's predominantly doesn't. Can someone else please jump in and be honest?
So you know that.
Of course not. Of course not.
During the summertime, during the summertime, for example, there's a predominant flow. There's a predominant flow of air from the ocean to the land.
Can anyone jump in and be honest, please?
And the land is hotter.
Oh my God. So anyway.
There's a predominant direction. Okay, that doesn't mean it's either one or the other. Yep. There's predominant forces.
It moves into your model. Your religion claims that the atmosphere. Your model claims the atmosphere moves independent of the Earth.
It's always influenced by.
Not independent.
Your model claims that it moves independent of the Earth. Okay, not completely independently, but it has but it moves on its own, as in.
They share the rotational momentum, whatever, and then.
But do they move exactly together? Do they move together?
No. On top of that, and then the wind has its own local movements.
Right, because the sun is constantly
not the winds. I'm
into
talking about the atmosphere itself. Is it spinning with the Earth, or is it spinning on its own?
The atmosphere spins with the Earth, and the atmosphere has
its own frame of reference.
So let me ask you this. Hold on. Let me simplify. Imagine if there was no atmosphere. Imagine if it was like the moon.
Why we always have to imagine dumb shit?
Because I want to see how much your understanding in physics is.
No, dude, I'm not playing your games, man.
Why are you scared to answer this? Why are you scared?
Because you always have to say, let's pretend there's no atmosphere. Let's pretend that the globe model says this. No, let's pretend that the model doesn't actually say what it does.
Okay, for the record, today, Witsit is afraid to answer questions.
That's not true. You're just trying to
answer a simple physics question. You're terrified to answer a simple physics question. Okay, then answer the question then. If there was no atmosphere, but the Earth was still spinning 1,000 miles per hour at the equator, and a plane takes off at the equator flying east or west, would it take longer to fly one direction or the other?
If there was no atmosphere.
Right, if there was no atmosphere.
Well, that's a dumbass question, so can we move on now?
So you're not going to answer the question?
No, because it's literally stupid as fuck.
Well, we're trying to determine what your understanding is
it's
because
stupid
last
as fuck,
night
bro.
You made a dumb statement, and right now we're trying to get.
You strawmanned my statement from last night. I clarified
you clarified it, and your clarification was dumb. So
but you
now
haven't responded. But yet you haven't responded with specificity. You've obfuscated 4 times.
I did say specificity. I told you the predominant force on the Earth. Oh my God! So are we 5 now?
Well, I'm just saying, don't say words you can't say.
You're still scared to answer. Why are you scared to answer the question, Witsit? You're supposed to be one of the biggest brains in the flat Earth. But you're scared. You're supposed to be one of the biggest brains of the flat Earth, but you're scared to answer a simple physics question because you're
asked me
going to get it wrong and you're going to get exposed.
You asked me a theoretical question that starts with the preface: "If there was no atmosphere," and then when pressed about your fucking religion, shut the fuck up, man. I'm talking.
You can answer.
When pressed about your religion's claims, you couldn't even fucking absorb and stake them. You said, well, let's just pretend it says this.
I told you that there's a predominant force on the direction that the atmosphere moves on the Earth, and you wouldn't accept it, which is fine. You don't want to accept it, that's fine.
Let's pretend.
But look, I'm not going to let you run away from this. We're going to talk about this, okay?
I'm not answering your theoretical no atmosphere question.
Well, I want you answered. You're scared. You're supposed to be one of the greatest minds of the flat Earth, and you're terrified of the simple physics question.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It is not relevant to reality, is it?
Of course it is, because it's relevant to your
atmosphere,
understanding.
you moron. So it's literally not relevant to reality. And this is the fucking sense that you globe earthers have to go
I presupposed it
to.
both ways. I also presuppose the atmosphere moves lockstep. Now, please explain the difference in the flight direction.
Yeah, your model doesn't claim there's no atmosphere.
And you're afraid to answer that. And you're afraid to answer that question too, which shows me that you are intellectually dishonest because you are terrified to make a mistake on answering the question. So you won't answer the question.
If the atmosphere,
you don't want to get caught out.
Atmosphere,
you don't want to get caught out.
You're self-projecting. If the atmosphere moves separately from the Earth, there would be friction, right? Right?
I don't know what you mean by there would be
friction. If the atmosphere moves separately from the Earth, would there be friction?
Yeah, there would be drag with the surface of the Earth in the atmosphere.
Okay.
Which there is, which is the case, which is why the predominant force on the atmosphere would be the rotation of the Earth, which is why the atmosphere predominantly moves with the surface of the Earth.
But it doesn't entirely.
No, it doesn't entirely.
Okay, so there would be some drag and friction, right?
You could say the same thing when analyzing the airflow around a wing or the airflow around a propeller.
Wait,
that's the way that fluid dynamics works. There's forces that can be predominant, but
just let him talk.
Just let him spiral.
Why don't you answer the question?
I just asked you a question.
No, I've been trying to get you to answer a simple question, and I'm
asking you about your religion. You want to ask about thought experiments that aren't your religion because you're scared. You can't defend your religions because you're scared.
And you are answering it in a ridiculous way.
I already explained that you strawmanned me. The reason that I said you would see some differential.
Dude, you're a coward. You can't have a real discussion. Yeah. You're just a coward, okay?
I said the reason that you would see a differential is because the atmosphere would be moving independently of the Earth. It has an independent frame of reference that would result in drag or friction, causing a differential based on the direction of path that you were traveling. Yet you claim that none of that ever happens. It spins, but we don't feel it, don't have to account for it. It's a ball, but we don't see it, don't have to account for it. The atmosphere moves separately from the Earth, but we don't have to account for the drag or the friction. But it has to be there, but it's never observed. But I promise it's there, but it's not there because it's basically not there. That's literally your argument right now. And I'm the dumb one.
So you're not going to answer the question.
That's your response. See, thank you for exposing yourself.
So you're not going to answer the question.
I just did. You exposed yourself. Thank you.
You didn't. You just said some bullshit, some typical word salad.
Yeah, thank you for losing. Move on. And stop strawmanning me. Jesus. So anyway, the first part of my rap, which everyone's scared to respond to, is you can't make claims about the natural world void of replication, practical demonstration, or scientific experimentation, which means you have a naturally occurring observation and an independent variable that you manipulated.
Being done.
Okay, please tell me what scientific experiment was done to support one of the Globers' claims about the natural world.
Cavendish.
Okay, what is that? What claim about the globe Earth is that proving?
Done. That's it.
What claim about the globe Earth did that prove?
It has two claims it solves. One indirectly and one directly. The one was weighing the Earth. The second is by a byproduct of the force being evident, it proves that gravity exists.
Okay, so what independent variable was manipulated?
Gravity, you fucking retard.
Mass.
So you manipulated you manipulated gravity.
No, manipulated mass.
Okay, thank you. At least you know what a little bit more. Also, what was the naturally occurring observation?
Things fall down.
Wait, that's not. Things don't fall down in Cavendish.
No.
So that has nothing to do with it.
The experiment is to try and explain why. Well, the byproduct of the experiment indicates why things fall down.
But the experiment doesn't even show anything falling down. So how could it validate why something fell down?
It shows that
whenever you
attraction.
have, my friend, if you're saying that the naturally occurring observable phenomena or dependent variable is something falling down, then that means your experiment has to have something falling down in it.
No.
That's your dependent variable, dude.
Please, Witsit, but be a cool guy, like you usually are. Be a wonderful, cool guy. Now, what you have is something falling down. It's postulated that said falling down is caused by the attraction between masses. Hence, we have to now prove that masses attract. Now we can go and take the Cavendish experiment to use as a method of testing to see whether masses attract. Masses do attract. So change the size of said masses, attraction changes. Hence, mass is the cause. Mass attracting mass seems to be the cause.
Okay, I've researched this a lot.
Beyond
right?
that you can go beyond that to Einsteinian shit, but right now, with what you can test in your garage, you can prove that mass attracts mass.
That's not true. So what's the p-value of the Cavendish?
The p-value for the maximum accuracy?
The probability of outcome.
For maximum accuracy? Or
yeah,
for
which is within 1% of the which is within 1% of the gravitational constant. What's the p-value?
That's only for the gravitational constant. I'm not using it for that. I'm using it to show attraction.
What's the p-value?
For attraction?
No, it has a p-value.
Okay, thank you. Scott's honest. You're right. It doesn't. But so you would think that like when it was redone in the 21st century and in 2020, it'd have a p-value by now, but it doesn't because I actually research claims. I don't just make them. I actually research things, and you people don't. I research top universities, Cavendish. They don't have a p-value, and actually they admit that it doesn't always work.
No,
and it's an assumed user. It's an assumed user error whenever you don't get the result expected. Assumed user error and no p-value, and that's your claim.
Only for weighing the Earth, not for proving gravity.
Weighing the Earth requires a presupposition of sphericity.
We're not weighing the Earth. We're proving gravity. We're proving.
Okay, well then stop bringing up weighing the Earth then.
But no, you keep bringing it up.
I've never said weigh the Earth one time.
From the very beginning. Well, no, you keep on talking about the gravitational constant.
Because that's what you're claiming it's proving.
No, I'm not. I am not saying that. I am saying that I am proving that attraction happens between masses.
Well, how many times?
What I said 10
What's the
times.
probability rate?
100% or near 100%.
That isn't true. So you're lying. So provide the evidence where it says the p-value is 100%. You're lying. You just make stuff up.
All Cavendishes attract.
Cavendish himself, his p-value was very low.
No.
His writings tell you very straight up.
He wasn't trying to prove the gravitational attraction. He wasn't a moron like you. He knew that there was gravitational attraction.
No, he wasn't a moron like you, so he didn't try to say that to prove gravity because it doesn't even manipulate it, dumbass. That's why he didn't say that, because he's not a dumbass like you.
The test actually shows that masses attract mass.
That's just a claim. That isn't true.
It is
so anyway,
true. Show me any example of a Cavendish failing.
Okay, there's tons of them.
Done by a halfway competent person, not a flat earther.
Like top tier universities, they have issues with user error. Are you unaware of this? So it's such a delicate procedure and apparatus that you come across user error. That's what they say. So they automatically negate unexpected results, assuming user error. That's why they don't have a p-value.
Until they get it dialed in, the unit is very persnickety. But once dialed in, it will yield competent or results that are reversible.
Dialed in being subjective to the result you expect.
No.
Yes, it is. I researched it.
Shut up. If you can show me a possible cause for me reversing the weights, reversing the masses, the fixed masses, and that reverses the motion every time, then you've got to explain that.
I don't have to explain anything. This is your positive claim of a scientific... Hey, my friend, this is your positive claim of a scientific experiment. I asked you what the naturally occurring phenomena was. You said things falling down, and nothing falls down in the Cavendish, and no one in this room is even going to fucking step in and say that you're wrong. That's how dishonest people here are. You said that the naturally occurring observation was things falling down. So if you're going to have a dependent... Why are you interrupting me? If you're going to have a dependent variable... Listen, man. Your dependent variable or your naturally occurring observation... If you have a you're spiraling. If you have a dependent variable or a naturally occurring phenomena, that has to be in your experiment, dude, because you're trying to prove the cause of that.
Bro.
What an idiot, dude. God. That is amazingly dumb. And no one here is even honest enough. That's just wild, bro. Whatever. All right, so a naturally occurring observation or dependent variable, you can't claim it's things falling down if nothing falls down in the Cavendish. In addition, you don't even account for electrostatics, which is openly known and admitted to be much stronger than gravity.
To be measured.
I'm still talking.
No, well, you talked through everything I said, so why am I not talking what you say? Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes. You are so delusional, you don't even realize
Hey, in the Cavendish experiment, where does something fall down? Fucking idiot, dude.
It doesn't. There's an attraction.
Yeah, exactly. So you just now refuted yourself. You're just not competent enough to understand that.
You're not competent enough.
So we're
to know
stuck.
that
I guess
you
we're
can
stuck
adjust
here. I
your
guess we should move
experiment
on.
to show the information.
No, you're claiming a
You're such
scientific
coward. What a
experimentation.
coward! Run,
Yeah, you're
run. Go ahead.
No, I'm not running. You're
In
claiming
the-
you're
in the
claiming a
Cav- in the
scientific experiment.
Cavendish
Yeah,
in the
there we go.
Cavendish experiment, and you.
It's not an
and
experiment.
in the Cavendish experiment,
It's
and
not an
you,
experiment.
and I'll put this in air quote. Down was created.
That's a fucking cool ass story. So, he said the naturally occurring observation was things falling down, but nothing falls down the Cavendish. So you can't be substantiating the cause of things falling down. You can't be
down in the Cavendish.
You can't be substantiating that
just for a
something.
moment.
What's
just for
up?
1 moment.
Okay.
The thing that's falling down in the Cavendish experiment are the objects that are pushed on a pivot point. They're being applied down on that pivot point. Now, the point of the experiment was to try to eliminate the downward force to see if masses actually attracted each other, irregardless of the downward force. That was the point of the experiment.
Well, actually, it wasn't. The point of the experiment was to substantiate and determine the density of the Earth. It had nothing to do with fucking gravity. Because he wasn't stupid, and he knew he wasn't manipulating gravity, and that when he changed the mass, he would have to assume that the causation of manipulating the mass was equated to gravity. He knew that it was insufficient. It's the same thing with Newton. Whenever he said, I don't want gravity attributed to me, to think that it would shoot through vacuums is stupid as fuck. As soon as he died, they attributed it to him. Same thing with Cavendish. Okay, I'll quote it verbatim. To think that gravity would act on innate brute matter through the vastness of a vacuum of space is to me so great an absurdity that no man with competent faculty of thinking could ever fall into it.
So why did he distance himself from gravity?
No man with
He
faculty
distanced himself from the idea of an instantaneous reacting force, not the idea of gravity.
No, I just now quoted him verbatim. I just quoted him verbatim.
You
Idiot. Okay, I'll say it again. To think that gravity could act on innate brute matter, to think that gravity could act on innate brute matter through the vastness of a vacuum of space is to me so great an absurdity that no man with competent faculty of thinking in philosophical matters could ever fall into it.
So where does he distance himself from gravity?
After that?
Did he really say that?
Yes, word for word.
What did he say after that?
He said, so I've left it up to the consideration of my readers.
No, what did he say? What did he say verbatim? What did he say after that? Because this is a device which was used, and Darwin used it as well when speaking about the eye, which the creators love to quote mine, and that is you put basically a paragraph essentially summing up the negative view, the opposing view, and then you go and back up your own
you're such an idiot, dude.
Put forward. And this is why I know you.
I just quoted him verbatim, dude.
Yeah, you're quote mining him because you're not.
How am I quote mining him, dude?
What did he say in the paragraphs following that quote mine?
He said that he wants to make no definitive claim about it, and he's left it up to the consideration of the readers.
No. What did he write? Because you quoted him, you said verbatim. You quote the next paragraph.
I didn't know. I didn't say I memorized the whole next paragraph, dude.
You little smart ass.
Look at him. You're spiraling. What does the next paragraph say?
By the way, do you know? Do you actually? Know
you can't even say it. This is like the level of fucking competence y'all have on the server, and y'all let this dude run rampant.
You love to use the term spiraling. Do you know what that actually means?
No, hey man, stop obfuscating. I just quoted him verbatim. If you're saying that doesn't mean what he fucking said, then explain it.
As opposed to you.
If you're saying it doesn't mean what he said, then explain it. If you're saying it doesn't mean what he said, then say it.
As opposed to you, Sonny boy. My degree is in psychology.
No one cares.
So I do.
Literally, no one cares
what the term spiraling means.
Hey, I don't care about your life, dude.
Shit you don't know about.
You have yet to even voice why my quote was wrong. You're just talking about me because you're obsessed with me like a gamma.
You will not go on to quote.
Here you go, talking about me some more.
You will not go on to quote verbatim what Newton said after the paragraph.
Why don't you just say it then? Because you don't even know it. You're just saying stupid shit, thinking that you're like gonna bust me or something. I actually said what he said after. He said that he left it up to the consideration of his readers.
Man, it's not that hard to bust someone like you, man. Someone who dropped out of school and started smoking weed 24/7 for like 7 years. It's not easy to bust. What do you got, baby? What you got, show me.
Wow, this dude got me. I smoke weed and dropped out of college.
Show me the guy who smokes pot every day. And
that's why. That's why it's even more embarrassing for you that you're incapable of like competent exchange. I dropped out of college and I fucking obliterate you every time you open your mouth. That should make you feel pretty bad.
You dropped out of kindergarten, mate.
Oh, really? Falsification is independent of replacement. I falsified all of your positive claims. You've literally offered no scientific experimentation. You don't even know what the fuck that means. You've constantly obfuscated. I just quoted Newton verbatim, and then you said, that's not what he said, but you can't voice the contention with specificity. You haven't the entire time. You constantly try to psycho and analyze me, give your opinion about me, and all your little gammas in here amp up you talking about me, but even Scott can't fucking say, could you respond to the point for once? Like, it's really bad over here. You people are incapable of intellectual exchange.
Oh shit, I've got crap.
Hey, Witsit, in the age of everything having a HD camera, and I mean, there's probably plenty of footage of aircrafts flying over Mount Everest and other places. Isn't there like hours and hours and hours of footage flying over the true north, or doing a full going from north to south and back around? You know what I mean?
Nope.
Video is 14 hours of open.
Oh, well, you could just video the 2 hours where you go over the north, but they don't even do that.
Aircraft. I mean, there's got to be somebody with an iPhone.
Videoing an ice sheet is really so exciting.
Oh, see, that's all. Look how desperate they are, bro.
I'm curious to know what would
You're so desperate.
What would you go and
You're
what
so
would you go and
desperate.
video? I would say it'd be very few people who would do that, because what's the point? It's ice. Whoopee.
No, it's not ice. If you even look at Google Earth, it doesn't even say it's ice. It
In
says
the
it's
winter,
water.
it's ice.
People video flying over an ocean. It's just blue, just water.
Yes.
Why
and
can't
how
we
many
fly
hours
over it when
do-
it's water then?
And how many hours do we see people just videoing?
You can't fly
ocean?
within 500 miles of each direction of the North Pole.
Thousands.
Dun, dun, dun. You can't fly over 500 miles within each direction of the North Pole. Uh-oh.
What is the contiguous time frame? How much time have you seen video of ocean? Have you seen 24 hours?
Can you offer documentation of what's in the North Pole?
Oh yeah.
Can you offer actual documentation of what's in the North Pole?
Uncut.
Really?
No, you haven't. You're a liar.
One cargo ship.
Liar.
You know, it probably goes for like months actually. On
Liar.
Yeah, but that's not flying. And
liar.
That's a security camera or whatever you want to call it. It's not somebody going out and videoing for the purposes of
true.
recording.
Okay.
True.
Your answer was, what's it matter? Who would want to see it anyway?
Why should a security
your
camera
answer.
beat science? See, that's a red flag for me.
What do you mean?
Who's claiming science? Because the Globe Earth makes claims contrary to science, so you seem to not be keeping up here.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Oh,
They claim gravitational orbit, but they have no physical demonstration or scientific experimentation to prove that without reifying the model looking in the sky. They claim a physical curvature rate, but it's not there. They claim an atmosphere adjacent to a near-perfect vacuum void of physical containment, which is a claim against the natural law of second law of thermodynamics.
Dynamics. What about satellites?
What about satellites?
You really are mad.
Chill,
bro.
Here we go with someone talking about me personally again. I'm sure.
Listening to you
There you
demonstrates
go.
what a zero IQ looks like when it comes up against an
A zero IQ.
0.0000009 IQ, yeah.
Yeah, the fact that someone laughed at that just shows how stupid you people are.
Hey, Witsit.
I mean, Witsit, you're more stupid than you actually
Oh,
sound.
look, him talking about me again.
One.
Oh, look, people talking about me personally again.
How about
can't
Witsit,
respond
how
to the
about you
point.
both? How about you man up and answer this question? How do you
What did
define
I
density?
miss, man? What new info made everybody mad at each other before I got here? What
By the way,
happened?
let him answer this
I
question.
I
How do you
said that
define-
if you
how do define
claim,
density? How do you define density?
if you make claims about the natural world, then you have to support it with scientific experimentation, which is where you have a naturally occurring observation and an independent variable manipulation. And that
Don,
made people spiral.
What happened is that he's a
Witsit wants the
obnoxious
best
little
scientific.
cunt who doesn't let anybody speak.
Yeah, you people don't understand science. That's the problem.
Isn't that how you falsify things, Witsit?
How? I didn't hear. What are you talking about?
Scientific experiment?
Yeah, well, no, not necessarily. Sure, if you want to put it that way.
Okay, so aren't falsifications positive claims?
No,
Oh, how so?
they're negative claims. What an idiot.
Hey, but I do
How
have
do
to
you
say
prove
that
a
you
negative
just
claim?
You don't have to prove negative claims. Negative claims are challenges of positive claims. They're assumed to be true until you provide physical empirical evidence of them being false.
prove negatives don't even exist. What's it?
Yeah, the Earth isn't a globe. That's a negative.
How do you falsify something without proving it?
No, listen, my friend. When you make a positive claim, you have the burden of proof. You have to prove it. If I make a negative claim, it's assumed to be true until you prove it false.
Claim is a claim, which is a positive action.
So you're saying that Yale and Harvard are wrong about the definition of negative claim?
No, you're wrong. I see. Everyone.
Are you saying that all higher education is wrong about the definition of negative claim?
Can you special plead a little bit more?
Oh, look, no one can answer. If I say Santa isn't real, do I have to provide evidence that he isn't real, or do you have to provide evidence?
You're the aggressor.
No, the aggressor is the person that said Santa was real, making the positive claim.
So where's your evidence that Santa isn't real?
You have to prove he is real. Are you this incompetent?
What's it? You get the person makes a positive claim, and you get to say prove it. But as soon as you turn around and say he's not real, you have now made a claim.
That's not true. Negative claim. So I'm about to link literally like Yale and Harvard, and then y'all are gonna still argue with it.
Yeah,
like y'all are that desperate right now. Negative claims are assumed to be true until proven false. Because positive affirmations. Listen, positive affirmation. Right?
Okay, hold on a second. What about
requires evidence?
Right.
How
do you
don't have to prove that Santa doesn't exist. It's on the person's claim to provide the evidence. Simple as that. You just have to accept that.
He said it's flat.
How do you scientifically explain air?
Yeah. My positive claim is that the Earth is flat. That's true. That's my only positive claim, pretty much.
Explain air.
Prove it.
Yeah, I will. That's
independent.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. See, but what I'll do is I'll actually provide evidence, and that's just what y'all people are incapable of doing. So, flat is a general claim to the surface of the Earth. That's my positive claim. I'm positively claiming a general descriptor of the surface of the Earth. So it's a topographical plane.
But
I will provide evidence for it.
Flat is a negative
Long distance observations, void of curvature, right, where we see too far if the Earth was the ball they said we were. That shows that, well, it's flat there,
I can destroy all your
or it's not curved
so far.
there.
I can destroy all your comments right now. Yeah. How far is a long distance observation? Tell me in miles, square mileage. How far is far for you?
Square mileage.
Yeah, you're gonna.
Why would you want square mileage?
To give you, if anything, a step up. Let's say you have 200 miles, right? You're looking out 200 miles, right? You're gonna say how far is far?
Yeah, from 1 foot, 10 miles is too far.
No, I'm saying, how far can you see?
From 1 foot, 10 miles is too far. Hey, yeah.
You know, the surface area of the Earth is 198 million square miles. So what the fuck is 10 miles, dude?
You don't seem to understand your own religion, but I'm not surprised.
You don't seem to understand the own shit coming out of your own mouth. You're saying that it looks
what's the
flat,
right? What does your globe Earth claim the radius is?
Look up at the moon. It looks like a round disc, right?
This dude just said the Earth's a ball. Look up at the moon.
You will find a flat spot. No, I'm going.
What an idiot!
Saying it's observable.
Witsit.
Yeah.
The longest distance you can measure on Earth.
No, wait, time out. Time out. Yes, 10 miles is too far, but do you know what the radius claim of your model is?
That's not the fucking point there,
What's the radius claim of your model?
That's not the point.
You don't even know it!
You need to know that, guys.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
Guys,
the longest distance one can measure is 250
Hey, what's the radius?
The longest distance one can measure on a flat Earth, or on
I didn't
Earth,
invoke that.
The longest distance one can measure on Earth is 250 miles.
How about you respond to my actual population?
Now, the longest distance.
Oh, here we go. Obfuscate.
Why is it that you can't see 300 miles?
Because light attenuates.
You can't see far enough. That's false.
Because light attenuates and absorbs into the medium.
False.
Oh, you're disputing light attenuation?
Nope. The amount of light attenuation.
Okay, so should light travel forever? Wait, listen. Should light travel? Should light travel forever? Should light travel forever through the atmosphere? No, it doesn't. It has an absorption rate. You're a moron. Okay. Light absorbs into the medium, it has an extinction limit based on its attenuation rate relative to the density of the medium.
How do you know that?
You people,
How do you know
you
that?
people deny
How do you know
objectivity.
How do you know that?
Because when the medium's more dense, the light doesn't travel as far because it gets absorbed at a higher rate of attenuation.
How do you know? You still didn't explain it.
How do you know
You have to be to make a demarcation line.
Yeah, if the medium's really dense, it's going to absorb the light more. You can do this on a practical level by manipulating
How does it
different
absorb,
medium.
basically?
All you have to do is look.
Whoever's
at
saying, "Can you hear me?" are really quiet.
To see.
This is so sad. You are sad, dude. So what was I'm saying at 1 foot, we saw 10 miles, and we shouldn't see that far. That's based on the radius. And so do any of you know what the radius is? Because if that radius number's wrong, that means the whole model's wrong. Y'all know that, right?
No, not necessarily. That's if someone's claiming that the Earth.
You want the radius in kilometers or miles?
Either
is the
one.
Earth a perfectly
Kilometer is
polished sphere?
6,378, and
Okay.
the miles it's 3,000.
Yeah, 3,959. And then if you take the square root of the observer's height in feet and multiply that by 1.225, you will get the geometric horizon's maximum location. That's geometry.
That's a cool story, bro.
It's a cool story, bro. Yeah, we checked the geometric claim of the radius and we falsified it. It is a cool story, bro. Your whole model falls apart as soon as that number's wrong.
We were talking about your model, though, not ours.
I don't have a model, so you're scared to answer. What a joke. You're scared. You're scared.
Your
No,
belief is
listen,
so
you don't
weak.
need
You
a
don't even have
model
a
with
model.
your entire argument because
You're scared. No, it's not. I said we test the radius claim of your model. It has a geometric necessitation of a geometric horizon maximum location that is determined by 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. We did not make that number up. That is your religion's number, but you people are such religious zealots, you didn't even know the number.
Yeah, but again,
much less have you fucking tested it.
The globe. We're talking about your flat.
Yeah, because you're actually, we're talking about how the globe's wrong. Flat Earth is not a claim to a model. That's a claim of a general descriptor of the surface.
To the Earth is fine for a
You
globe.
people are dumb.
made
You
a
people are
positive
dumb. You people are dumb.
You made a positive claim that the Earth was flat.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
I'm
what we're
showing
talking
you
about.
why. Because
No,
for
you
one
don't
example,
describe a flat Earth by saying what it isn't. You don't describe bananas by saying it isn't a transmission.
yeah, fair enough. What I'm saying is if
describe the
okay, cool, fair enough. What I'm saying, what we have definitively showed, for example, with like the Black Swan, is that the radius would have to be 260,000 miles. Now, it's not as simple as just saying, well, the ball could be bigger because we know how far New York is from London. The day and night cycles are dependent upon this number. Gravity is dependent upon this number. Our orbit
It's
is
not
dependent
about
upon
making it bigger, dude. That's if we're on a perfectly polished sphere, which we're not. You're
Oh, so
claiming
it's just
that we're on a
humping all over the
perfectly
place, is what you're
polished
saying.
fucking sphere. Yes,
Again,
this is what I'm
letting
getting at.
you
Look at the
direct
moon
the
right now.
narrative
It
here
looks like
when
a
we're not
round
talking about
disc,
the
right?
globe.
Doesn't look flat, right?
But it
Take a
doesn't matter. It
telescope,
doesn't matter, dude.
Zoom in to the edge, and you will find a flat spot. Something you can see yourself, fucking yourself. Okay? It
That's
looks
not
like
the point.
a circle. Take a telescope, zoom in, you will find a flat spot. That is the point. What
No,
I'm getting at
because
is the
listen,
Earth is
man.
not
There's a
perfectly polished sphere.
my
You
friend. I
fucking
know.
listen,
I know it's
dumbass.
not.
Oh my
I know
God,
it's not a perfectly polished sphere, dumbass.
Then you can't
I know your
make that
religion better
argument
than you
you're
do,
having with the
dumbass.
Black Swan,
Yeah,
you
actually, I can.
fucking
You just
nut.
aren't smart enough to understand it. There's a
What, with the
maximum.
refraction fucking bending the crane?
There you go. Interrupt me. Yeah, the crane's not the argument, dumbass. So there's a maximum location of the geometric horizon based on the radius. It can't just fucking be anything anywhere. It can be smaller than that at certain places, but it can only be a maximum distance. That's called geometry, bruh. Yeah.
I learn it sometime.
I'm glad that now we covered this second grade level rudimentary understanding for you people. Can we respond with specificity now?
Might want to actually
You
learn it.
skipped over the whole fact.
No, I said that the curvature, right, like the geometric horizon, it can fluctuate only closer to you. It has a maximum distance of 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. That's based on the radius.
Does your
This is geometry, bro. This is just basic geometry, bro.
Yeah, we're talking
From
basic
your
geometry.
model. I used your
I know
model,
we're
dude.
talking about our model, not yours. 'Cause that's
Earth
the only
curve
thing I'm talking
calculator, dude.
about. So Witsit, what's the radius of your flat Earth?
I don't claim a radius because I have to know. I have to know that. Hey, I have to know the
geometry.
No, I didn't. I didn't claim a geometric shape.
Guys, you got to stop coming up with these shit
Dude,
fucking
such
reverse
an
the burden of
idiot.
proof fallacies. Reversing the burden of proof is not fucking going to make your argument any better.
Dude just said I claim geometry. What geometric claim did I make? No. What geometric claim did I make, Nidhug? Nidhug, what geometric claim did I make?
He didn't make a claim.
What geometric claim did I make, Nidhug?
So back it up.
What geometric claim did I make?
That the horizon can't be farther; it can only be
Right.
closer.
So that as it applies to the spherical paradigm, he just now said, "What's the radius on the flat Earth?" Because you claimed a geometry. No, I didn't. I did not. I tested your geometry claim.
If it's flat, shouldn't you be able to
Flat
only
isn't
see-
a shape, dude.
It is flat.
You guys,
If it is flat,
you guys are
should
just
you
wrong.
not be able to see in essence forever? And you
No,
said-
light
hold on.
attenuates.
Okay, hold on. Let's finish that light attenuating thing. I got muted before. Now, the light attenuates. Things do not disappear by dimming out. They disappear at the horizon. And they don't get dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and disappear. So please explain why that things in the distance disappear by going down rather than attenuation.
They don't always go down, do they?
Always go down.
No, they don't. So you just lie about everything. So we can only see so far because as you increase distance, the density of the medium increases proportionately. Thus, that's going to decrease or inversely proportionate relationship it will have with the light attenuation, right? So it'll have a higher absorption rate with a higher density of medium, right?
Why can you see things when you travel up in altitude then?
Because you're getting away from more atmospheric obstruction and you're increasing your angular resolution.
No, you're not. You're increasing your distance, the hypotenuse of the triangle from what you're looking at.
You are increasing your angular resolution.
No,
So,
you're not.
does
You're
anyone
going
here want to
further
tell him that
away
he's
from what
wrong?
you're looking at.
Or are you all
You're
going to lie?
going further away. Going further away from what you're looking
Anyone
at.
going to tell him that he's wrong?
Actually, shut up while you finish speaking, and then you can talk. See how that works?
So again, if you're on a flat plane, like you claim, and you go up in altitude, the hypotenuse of the triangle that you make from the point on the ground, from where you are going up to the horizon, the hypotenuse, which is your viewing distance, goes up. It increases as you go higher. So you should not see more, you should see less because the distance is increasing.
No, when you go higher, you can see further, bruh. You can replicate this.
That's your whole argument. Your whole argument is perspective.
I said that you can replicate it. I said that you can replicate it. Do you understand what replicate means?
Yeah, sure. Replicate.
What does it mean?
Show us exactly what you mean.
Okay, so whenever I put a camera down on the ground and then I'm videotaping some medicine bottles, it will look like they're curving. As I move that camera up above the table, I will get a more clear, fuller view of what's actually going on. When I'm standing at a hallway, and I look down the end of it, it looks like the walls and the ceiling and the floor are converging. If I was to increase my height, I would be able to see a little bit further down the hallway.
Same if you increased your magnification.
Yes, that's true.
You guys aren't even arguing these points.
And yet, when the sun goes down below the horizon, no amount of magnification brings it back.
Hey, can the sun look like it sets? Listen, can the sun
go on a flat Earth at night?
Can the sun? It gets further away from you. Can the sun look like it goes down to the? Listen, can the sun look like it go below the horizon, and then you go to the top of a tall building and see it in entirety again?
No, when you increase your hypotenuse.
So when you increase your altitude or your elevation, you can see more of the sun, right?
More of the sun in your paradigm.
That's not true. I just now explained that you can validate and replicate that an increase in altitude increases angular resolution. So y'all are disputing objectivity, arguing like literally like 7-year-olds.
It doesn't increase angular resolution.
Okay, so when I increase altitude, I can't see further. Is that your claim?
It doesn't increase your angular resolution.
Yeah, that's kind of a false statement, dude.
My angle of resolution doesn't increase as I increase my altitude.
No, it does not.
You don't know what you're talking about.
So I don't have a larger perceivable angle higher off the ground.
No.
Y'all are just laughing, but no one's saying anything.
You're not right.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Curve, though, dude who has a 60 IQ is laughing real loud. So
Your angular resolution, you go higher.
okay, can I see further whenever I go higher?
Give a citation.
Can I see further when I go higher? Can I see further when I go higher? Can I see further when I go higher? Can I see further when I go higher?
Citation.
Can I see further when I go higher? Can I see further when I go higher? Can I see further when I go higher?
God, you got short-circuited there.
No, y'all just can't answer questions.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger, Will Robinson.
Hey, can you substantiate your physical claim of a radius?
Yeah.
Okay, how?
Yes, there is
Horizon
no cap
drop
on how
or
far
mountain.
you can go.
Horizon is an apparent location that constantly fluctuates that has nothing to do with physical claims.
Even if the world is a globe, you're losing the argument. Your argumentation is terrible. You're not arguing his
height
points.
of a mountain drop over.
Listen to what I'm saying. Like, you're not even arguing his points. Even if you are right about the world, even if you're right about the world being round, you're losing the arguments.
Your postulation is a conflation of apparent and actual location.
No.
No.
Salad. No, you are
Word
not.
salad. I just use like third grade words and this dude can't understand them.
No, that's not what it is at all. There's no conflation at all. There's no conflation.
You don't even know what angular resolution
I said
is.
conflation of apparent and actual location.
Actual. These are actual locations.
No, wait. Zanuck, is the horizon an actual location?
I'm not talking about the horizon.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Non sequitur. I'm talking about two mountains in a distance.
Okay, and what's obstructing the mountains?
Nothing's obstructing the mountains.
You guys are terrible.
Oh, so nothing's obstructing the mountains?
We're not talking about the obstruction. We're talking about the position.
What is obstructing the mountains?
We're not talking about obstruction. We're talking about
Is there obstruction in the picture?
We're talking about angular position.
Hey, is there obstruction in the picture?
Yeah, there's some obstruction.
Okay, what's obstructing the mountains?
The curvature of the Earth.
The horizon, right?
No, there's no horizon in this picture.
Okay, so there isn't a curvature of the Earth in the picture then.
There is a definition of
well, the curvature of the Earth is the geometric horizon.
No, they're not talking about the horizon. We're talking about mountain position.
No, the curve of Earth is the geometric horizon.
No, the
objectively
curvature is not the horizon.
So you're just not very. No, it's the geometric horizon.
No, it's not the geometric horizon either.
Okay, so whenever I go to Earth Curve Calculator and it says it is, you know more than it.
You're conflating the horizon with the curve away from you. Two different dimensions.
What's the geometric horizon?
It's better.
Oh, God.
What's the geometric horizon, Zanuck? What's the geometric horizon, Zanuck? Oh, what's the geometric horizon, Zanuck?
Listen, you'll get the answers you're looking for.
I bet you $1 million I fucking don't, because you don't answer questions, Zanuck.
I do answer the question.
Well, then what's the geometric horizon then, Zanuck?
Is a point of obscurity based on the curvature of the Earth.
I thought you just said it had nothing to do with the curvature of the Earth.
But I'm talking about the horizon in this picture.
What an idiot, dude. Oh my gosh.
I'm talking about the curve away from you.
Do you think you just got dismantled, or you think you're winning?
Talking about the curve away from you.
You just said the geometric horizon has nothing to do with curvature of Earth. I asked you to define geometric horizon, and then you said curvature of Earth.
I'm not talking about the horizon. I'm talking about the angular position.
I mean, that was pretty funny. I mean, let's be honest.
Mount St. Helens.
Panic Zanuck over here just fucking imploding.
There's no horizon. We're talking about the angular position.
Okay, bro, but I asked you, is there an obstruction of the...
So you're talking about something different than I'm talking about. Fine. We can talk about horizons next.
Well, I'm critiquing your postulation, my friend.
The angular position of Mount Rainier versus Mount St. Helens should be in line. Actually, Mount Rainier should be higher, but it's below. It's below.
Okay.
And we're looking up. We're looking up at it from a 1,000-foot observer.
Can you determine that those mountains are what we're
Listen.
No, dude, you've said this to me before, Zanuck. Zanuck, I've listened to you explain this for 20 minutes before, dude. I've listened to you explain this exact thing for 20 minutes before.
You still didn't get it.
Well, then why don't you let me respond before you just fucking do it again? So, can you substantiate that those mountains that you see are the actual location of the mountains?
Yeah, the evidence would be flying over them with an aircraft. You can validate their height with air pressure.
No. I'm saying where you're standing and you're making the observation from 1,000 feet up and you see the mountains, can you substantiate that what you see as mountains is the actual location that you're physically seeing of the mountains?
Yeah.
Of course you cannot, Zanuck, because you're looking through the atmosphere. An atmosphere affects your perception.
You're looking up through the atmosphere.
It doesn't matter. You're looking through the atmosphere.
Slow your roll, tough guy.
Is there density between you and the mountains?
Slow your roll and I'll explain. Slow your roll and I'll explain. If you're looking up through the atmosphere and we have a density gradient going downward, the denser is down, that means refraction would have to be upward. Does that make sense to you?
No, what you don't seem to understand is you're just telling me what should happen, and what I'm saying is, can you substantiate the mountains are the? Can you substantiate
down
that?
I can't even think straight. You're just babbling in the background. Let me finish.
Right, because I tear apart your actual argument, and you just want to obfuscate.
I can't talk over you and make a sentence. So
you just want to monologue obfuscations.
He knows this. That's why he does it.
Oh, look at Curve talking about me again, but never ever once has he said anything intelligent ever.
Density even down.
Curve, have you ever said anything intelligent?
All the time.
Well, how come he never ever says anything relevant to the conversation ever?
Well, I was trying earlier, and nobody would shut up.
Oh, sorry. I would actually prefer to hear
what you were saying earlier, and I was trying to point it out.
Oh, the angular resolution thing. Yeah, I heard you.
Okay, yeah, you already said angular resolution increases as you go up, and it doesn't. So let me get to this point here. The density is greater at the bottom.
That was just one thing.
Less dense as you go up.
That's all you said, Curve. I can. Curve, I can hear your gamma voice from miles away, dude.
Which makes
you go one-on-one. One-on-one.
I'd love to see a one-on-one. You lot fucking just like 10 versus 1, and you're all getting fucking spun.
Just do it. Zanuck and Witsit call it one-on-one.
Hey, is that mountain that we see? The road. Is that mountain that we see? Like, can you validate for sure that the mountain that we're observing is the actual location of the mountains?
Are you afraid to one-on-one curved?
What? No.
Are you afraid to one-on-one curve? He just challenged you.
Is that a serious question?
Yeah, he just challenged you.
Okay, let's go.
Didn't he say Xanax though?
I thought he was talking about Xanax. Yeah, that's why I continue the conversation. This dude's trying to act like I'm scared. What a shocker! Gamma comments.
Going against all y'all. Why would you be afraid of curves?
I know.
He's only just talked about me personally the whole time.
All of them are just going on, and all of them are getting their attacks completely misdirected.
You got one-on-one them right now.
One thing I've learned about this is that I keep hearing that he's not letting anybody talk, but over and over and over, he stops, lets somebody say something, and he rebuttals over and over. I hear him do it.
Yeah, no.
Shit, where's one?
It's just so much goonery going on, man.
There's no way to. So simply, man, when you're looking through that far of the atmosphere, there's so much density that's going to affect your perception and the way light gets to you and into your eyes for you to interpret it or perceive it. That we cannot determine or substantiate that something through that much atmosphere is the actual location. In fact, it would be hyperlogical to assume that it wasn't, because we know that atmosphere affects our perception consistently. So to say that you know for a fact that this is the actual location because it looks like what you think it should be, so you cherry pick it, but then you go back the next day. If you go back the next day, the mountains will look like.
Hold your point. Wait until you finish, then respond when he's finished. And
I'm done almost, but
hey, Curve says he wants to debate him anyway.
No, hey, Curve is gone.
What?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, of course, because he was talking about Zanuck debate, and then someone said, "Are you scared to debate Curve?" So he left.
No way.
Unless he went to another room, but I can't see him.
All that dude ever does is talk about me, bro. But anyway, what I'm saying is, dude, there's no way to substantiate actual location, bro, and we all know that. And if you go the next day and the next day and then the next season, the mountains aren't going to look exactly the same every day, are they? So can you provide the evidence for that then? Okay, do it.
Can I say one sentence? You've been talking for 10 minutes. I'm listening to you. Can I just have a sentence, please? Thank you.
Take it inside, guys. Take it inside.
This is a non-zero refractive effect. So you never see the objects loom in this kitchen. I'm sorry, sink in this situation, because refraction is always going to the denser gradient downward. So this is an area of density being higher at the bottom and less as you go up. So refraction is always going down. That means objects are always being loomed up. So it'd be a non-zero sinking ever. You'll never.
So sinking doesn't happen, is what you're saying?
It doesn't happen ever.
Sinking is just a made-up idea of refraction.
Sinking is upward refraction.
I thought
you cannot have upward refraction looking up through a differential gradient and over this distance.
We're looking out across. We're not looking up.
We are looking up.
No, we're looking out across.
We're looking up.
No, we're not.
Yes, we.
You said we were at 1,000 feet looking out at the mountains.
Digging your own grave. Listen.
You said that we were at 1,000 feet looking out at them.
We're looking up to 6,500 and up again further to 14,000.
That's assuming actual location.
Stop it.
It's assuming an actual location.
Stop it! 14,000 feet
don't
is
make
above.
me post the spearfishing again.
Stop it! 14,000 feet is twice that of 6,500
That's
feet.
assuming actual location.
No, we measure that. That's easy.
No, you didn't.
Are you challenging the elevation of those mountains? Now?
No, I'm challenging that the perception of the mountains is the actual location.
Issue.
Yeah, you're just saying that, Zanuck. You're just saying that. You're just saying things.
Zanuck, why don't you show him some irrefutable, some irrefutable.
Let me.
Yeah, show me documentation day to day. Show me that it doesn't change.
Come on, guys, calm down, settle down, guys. Settle down.
Argument.
Taking turns, guys. Taking turns.
No, I'm not saying no. I'm asking specifically for documentation and evidence of your claim.
Give me the mute button so I can control this. This is ridiculous.
No, I'll just leave. Zanuck gets the mute button.
You're looking up through a differential medium that is denser down than up. When you do that, you always have downward refraction. Always. You never have upward refraction.
Zanuck,
therefore,
will it look the same year round?
A non-zero sinking factor, meaning it'll never be lower than you think it will.
Will it
ever?
Will it look the same year round?
Is it
will it look the same year round?
Understand?
Will it look the same year round?
Yes, here it is.
Can you provide evidence of it year round, please?
Look at the video.
The only way this evidence is any good is numerous observations over the course of different seasons.
Look at the video.
Non-zero sinking.
I'm not going to just go watch a video right now, but you're saying the video documents numerous days across the course of the year?
Yes.
Well, then I'll look at it. Okay. I just said I'll look at it. I'm not like you guys.
At the timestamp, I think it's 192, but it should be
Instead of all this debating, why don't you guys just show them something that's definitive, non-debatable?
Right here.
It doesn't exist.
Shut up.
Does anybody disagree with the fact that you need a differential medium, hence that you will have for something to sink?
Zanuck, you just go on loop, dude. That's all you do.
You can say if you disagree. Go ahead.
I do not just have to blindly believe.
An object sinking unless you have upward refraction.
Zanuck, I don't have to blindly believe. Zanuck,
you can't even answer the question.
You won't even let me answer.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have to blindly believe what you're claiming is happening in the fucking observation, Zanuck, because your entire premise requires.
One at a time, please.
See, this is ridiculous, dude.
One at a time, please.
You are ridiculous.
You have to interrupt me every time, dude.
Because you're not answering my question.
I am.
No, you didn't. Is it possible to have sinking, upward refraction at any point in an atmosphere that has always got a density gradient that is greater going down? Is it possible? Go ahead, answer.
I would lean towards no.
Thank you. So that means nothing can ever sink below where it should be, based on that non-zero sinking effect of a differential medium that is greater going down. You lose. Go away.
Okay, so now that you're fucking done, I guess.
What? Fucking right?
Your entire postulation.
Finish your statement, Zanuck. Let him reply.
Yeah, your entire postulation requires the assumption of the actual location of the mountains because you're saying part of it is obstructed by Earth curve. So what you're doing is making a positive claim of physical obstruction of the mountains. So what you're going to have to do is substantiate that the obstruction is physical, consistent, and an actual location, not theorize about how you think the refraction couldn't work, Zanuck.
Can I have my turn?
I just destroyed you.
Is it my turn now?
If you don't respond to anything I said, I'm disengaging with you.
I did.
Reply to what he said, Zanuck.
So if you have two objects which we have known heights, elevations above sea level, and we know that refraction has to go downward due to the difference.
So he's not responding.
I'm still talking. We know that refraction has to go downward, which would provide looming. That means it's a non-zero sinking ratio of these two objects in the distance, which means they never can change position in a downward further pattern, ever. So
okay, so you just repeated your fucking argument, Zanuck.
You already agreed that sinking would be upward refraction.
All you can do is just repeat. You don't.
Refraction. So therefore, these two positions linearly with trigonometry being used shows that it is Earth curve that shows position.
Trigonometry shows.
Field of view, and you're still talking.
Because you're just monologuing.
You never responded to him with
Yeah, you didn't respond to one thing I said. All he did was loop what he's already said. That's all Zena can do. He's literally incapable of lifetime debate. He predetermines his responses. I asked you to substantiate your postulation of physical Earth obstruction. You just told me, well, because that's the only way it can happen, I promise.
No, I did.
That was your response.
I saying that it was two objects.
No, you repeated your original statement. No, Zanny, you repeated your original statement. You did. You didn't respond to what he said. You didn't respond to what he said. You repeated your original statement.
Let me respond.
You responded.
No, we just tried to let you respond, and you didn't.
I'm responding to him. I'm responding
to him. You didn't respond to what you didn't know. You just repeated what you normally said.
You won't know until
I already heard it. You did finish.
No, you're not going to hear the same thing again. Trust me.
All right.
Well, then why don't we hear it again right then?
Two objects.
Can I get a shot? Can I get a shot of what? In a few minutes.
No.
Can I get a shot?
Can I get?
Charlie, give me a second, please. Can I get a shot of Witsit in a few minutes, please, after this stops?
Can we stop it right now? Because I've already refuted what he said. So. Yeah, you're making a positive claim of physical Earth obstruction. You have to substantiate physical claim to determine actual location without just presupposing it. Next. Who's got something else?
I just posted
Yeah, I do.
Give it 30 seconds. Look at the 30 seconds, dude.
So, what's it? You would you describe yourself as a flat earther?
Yeah.
Right, cool. Do you hold to any particular map, any particular layout of the flat Earth?
No. No, I don't claim a definitive layout. I don't think we can possibly know that.
But what about the Azimuth equidistant map? If I was
it's
to show
decent.
You that?
I mean, every map is flat. Okay. Every map is expanded from a central point and then wrapped around the ball.
Right, that's great. So. Right. So let's just go with the map for the purposes of
let's try and subscribe you to a map that you don't subscribe to.
Yeah, please, Brommy, I'm trying to get a better.
I already told you I don't claim a definitive map.
I'm just trying to get a compromise here, Brommy. Would you please shut the fuck up?
My friend, I don't claim a definitive map.
I understand that. But
falsification is independent of replacement, brother.
For the purpose of this exercise, though, I think this would probably be the best option at the moment. Because,
I worked out this morning, dude. I don't need to exercise things, though.
Yeah, right. You know what?
I don't want to do thought exercises of straw man. I'm sorry, bro. Okay, cool. I'm not entertaining your straw man. So falsification is independent of replacement. It's a shifting the burden of proof fallacy, straw man fallacy.
Chris, you can see a mile off where you're going with this idea. You're trying to trap him in. You're trying to get him to subscribe to something that you can trap him on. That's all you're doing. It's a really, really poor trick. That's all you're doing.
Also, hey, can concepts dilate?
I don't know. Witsit, can you play the video now?
Chemo holds to the map.
Concepts can dilate. Oh, okay.
Hold on a second. So what's it? Chemo holds to the AE map, right? A lot of flat earthers hold to the AE map. For the purpose of my exercise, the AE map would be the most convenient for me. But this problem would still exist in any flat Earth map, right? Any way you lay out the flat Earth, this problem would still exist, right? Let me describe the problem. Let me describe the problem then, first of all, right? Now, in any flat Earth map, any way you arrange the continents, from the coming out from the North Pole, all the way out to the so-called ice wall or whatever. Fucking...
It's obvious where you're going with it. It's obvious where you're going.
Brommy!
Oh, man. Yeah.
Dude, you're some moderation with Brommy, please.
Well, you're so dead set on your straw man, dude.
Right,
it's
please.
ridiculous.
I'm not straw man. I'm trying to explain to you.
Go ahead, man.
Right. So now again, this is only for illustration purposes, right? It's not. I'm not telling you this is your map. It's for illustration purposes.
All right, go ahead, bro.
As you can see, there are 3 arrows on this map, right? Now again, just for clarification, this would be still exists. This problem still exists in any flat Earth map.
That's what you say, yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, if that's not the case after I describe the problem, then you can tell me. Right. Okay. Right. So I like to use South America and South Africa, right? So that you can see there roughly. I don't know. Roughly. Like fucking 2 o'clock, you see an arrow there from South America, right? South Africa, sorry, and then roughly about 5:30, you know, on the if it was a clock, you see fucking
South America.
Right. So if you have an observer in each of those locations, right, 2 observers, right, and they're both looking south, and it's night time at the same time for both observers, regardless of time zones. And they look at the southern sky and they see the same south celestial pole and the same circumpolar stars. For the purposes of convenience, let's go with the Southern Cross, right? They both see the Southern Cross, right? So now, can you explain to me how that is possible? Oh, wait a minute.
It's very easy.
Just hold on, not done. How it's possible for those 2 observers to see the same stars if they're looking in different directions?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, so when they see the Southern Cross, do they all see it in the same position in the sky, or are they different relative to their locations?
They're in slightly different orientations.
They are all different. Yes, they are all different because the way they perceive the sky is all relative to their location. The fact that they're different should, refute your postulation because we can demonstrate this by putting a 6 on the top of a ceiling and walking across the river.
Okay, that I mean that's a completely ridiculous analogy. I'll tell you why they're different. It's because of their respective longitudes that they're different, right? It's nothing to do. That's why they're in slightly different orientations at the same time at night. But the fact that they are still seeing the same stars, again for convenience, the Southern Cross, which is on 6 flags in the Southern Hemisphere across, from Australia to South America.
You can't see the full Southern Cross from all these locations year round, and when you see it, no, you can't. That's a lie.
Actually,
you can see it year round. You can see. Okay, wait, listen.
Please allow me to finish. Please allow me to finish.
Oh my God.
The reason you can't see the Southern Cross from these locations is because they're on roughly the same latitude, right?
Can you see the full Southern Cross from every location year round?
Who cares?
No, I didn't.
Who cares?
Yes, from these latitudes because
no, you can't.
Yes, you can because from these latitudes, the Southern Cross is a circumpolar constellation that can be seen all year round.
Not in entirety. That's a lie.
Just like the Big Dipper in the Northern Hemisphere from certain latitudes.
You can't see the full you can't see the full Dipper all the time.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Latitudes, you can.
What a moron.
Why can you never see the Southern Cross from the northern
Wow. Because you have relative perception limits.
Magic light?
Your question is why we can't see everything forever. That's how smart your question is. You're really knocking it out of the park, dude.
Hold on.
Hey, if the Earth's a globe, can I see Polaris from below the equator?
This is where you're.
Hey, if the Earth's a ball, would I be able to see Polaris from beneath the equator?
Stop talking me. I'm trying to respond. Now, the reason I specifically said same latitudes, right? Like that's why 6 flags in the Southern Hemisphere from across the world have the Southern Cross on their flags is because they can see it all year round.
That isn't true. You just made up the last part.
Wait a minute. And it doesn't even matter. If
it doesn't matter.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Too painful, Chris.
Can I have some fucking moderation, please?
Dude, if there was a real moderator here, he would tell you to shut up.
Guys, let him get it out. But Chris, you try and be more concise. You are rambling.
Yeah.
I'm rambling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. For the purposes of this fucking exercise, it doesn't matter if it can be seen from all year round, because at the time that they're looking south, they can see the Southern Cross, right? At that specific time, these 2 observers can see the Southern Cross around the same celestial pole. They're seeing the same stars. They're looking in 2 different directions. Explain.
Yeah. Okay, they don't see the same location. They also don't see the entirety of the Southern Cross all at the same time.
My God.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Not true.
Okay, if you would like to
be very close to
substantiate,
the equator not to be able to see all of the Southern Cross.
if you would like to substantiate that all 3 of these locations can see the entire Southern Cross year round, please do so. Because that's not true. I've looked into it.
Well, you need to show that they don't.
No, you're claiming that they do.
No, you claim that they don't.
No, that's a negative claim as a response to your positive claim that they do.
It's still a claim.
Negative claims are assumed to be true.
Positive, whatever it is.
I'm sorry, you don't understand
that's
this.
True?
Negative claims are assumed.
Circumpolar stars from most of the southern hemisphere. It's visible all year round.
Not
true. As is the Big Dipper in the north.
Provide evidence, please.
Most of the northern hemisphere, it's visible all year round.
Provide evidence, please.
Oh,
That's
just observable.
Negative claims are assumed to be true until proven false.
Humans aren't animals.
Okay, so Harvard's wrong, Yale's wrong, this random dude on Discord's right. Gotcha.
All right, here we go. First thing in Google. Hang on, Michael.
First thing in Google, I looked it up the other day, and it says negative claims are considered true.
The Big Dipper is circumpolar in most of the northern hemisphere, which means it does not sink below the horizon at night.
So you just read something off. Can you provide evidence, please? At the same time, in all 3 different locations, the entire Southern Cross can be seen around the year, please?
Well, it can.
You just reading something off means nothing.
You can pretend that it's not, but at the end of the day,
provide evidence it is, bro.
At the end of the day, you are just pretending.
You're pretending. I'm to just believe your story. Yeah. So, hey, if I see Polaris from below the equator, is that possible on a ball?
You've got to think about what this evidence would be.
Hey, Jim, if I see Polaris from below the equator...
I can show you photographs of the Southern Cross from all of these locations. But what you want is photographs of the Southern Cross from these locations for every minute of nighttime for the entire year for all 3 locations. That's ridiculous.
Well, you could space them out. It wouldn't have to be like every second. I didn't say that. But I would want throughout the year, like at least one from each season. Yeah. That's not unreasonable, actually. That's called being intellectually responsible.
No, the evidence is overwhelming.
That's just a claim, dude.
You could speak to any astronomer or any astronomy. Listen, I'm still talking. Any astronomy club, any amateur astronomy club. There are thousands and thousands of photographs of it. As Chris has said, that it's on flags in the southern hemisphere. And if you think that you can just get away with not addressing it because I can't show you that this is visible, when you've made the claim that it's not, which you haven't supported in any way, then that's absurd. You aren't being intellectually honest in any way.
You're
just pretending something that is observably and really obviously true isn't true.
And you can't just say that,
make
bro.
believe.
You know, you're making a positive claim right now. So
Okay,
I'm asking you for No, this dude just brought this up and said that this was impossible. This dude brought this up and said that the Earth
is a positive claim.
That's a negative claim, dumbass.
No, it's not. It's a positive
Are
claim.
you still incapable of understanding the difference between positive and negative claims?
No, you're making a positive claim.
I said that isn't true. That's a negative claim as a response to your positive claim.
I think the best way to say, Jem, is that there is proof that Santa Claus exists, and to say that it does not would equal. You would need some sort of proof to level that claim out.
Well, there isn't any proof that.
Well, I think that's because Witsit's arguing that if you disagree with Santa Claus,
he made the claim. He made the positive claim that these things are not visible. That is a positive claim.
Oh, you're about some
No, wait. I said.
It doesn't matter if it is. All claims need to be supported.
That's not true. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, you're intellectually inept. That isn't my fucking problem.
Is a positive claim.
Witsit is saying that shit don't exist, and you're saying it does. So you need to come with the proof.
And everyone knows that. But this is all Jim can do is try and bend the conversation.
It doesn't exist.
All you can do is try and twist the conversation. That's all you got.
It doesn't exist, Witsit, because you just agreed with someone who said that you said you did.
What? I said a negative claim.
Jeremy just said Witsit saying this shit doesn't exist.
That's a negative claim.
And you went, that's right.
That's a negative claim.
You're saying it doesn't exist now.
That's a negative. No, I'm saying that what he claimed doesn't exist.
Yes. Somebody made a claim that something exists. Observation of all these stars from all year round. Witsit is saying that doesn't exist. Now you're asking him to prove non-existence of something, which is
which he could easily
a logical fallacy.
It's a logical fallacy. Yes.
which he could do. He could show me a picture from a certain location taken in the southern hemisphere, showing the southern stars and showing that the Southern Cross was either not visible or partially obscured by the horizon. Very, very easy. Very easy for him to do.
How can I prove that unicorns don't exist?
This is a fallacy, dude, and you don't even care.
His claim was not that this shit doesn't exist. It was that this shit is not always visible.
No, I said that's not true. I asked a question. I said, first of all, what I did was I said,
now you're saying there's no
there you go, interrupt me. What I said was, can you see the entire Southern Cross from every location year round? And the first thing I asked was, do the stars in the sky appear to be in the same location from all over the place on Earth in the Southern Hemisphere? And the answer was no, they appear to be in different locations. And then he said that they do appear all year or they don't, but it doesn't matter. All I ever did was critique his positive claim, Jim.
Right. Can I respond to that, please?
Go ahead.
Thank you. So, for the purposes of my fucking thought experiment, it didn't matter about all the year-round thing. And the thing about them being in different positions is completely fucking expected on a globe, right? It's to do with the different longitudes of each observer. That's why they're in slightly different positions.
You just reified your model, dude.
Relative to the celestial
begging
pole.
The question fallacy.
This isn't a formal debate, so
it's not begging the question fallacy anyway. He's describing what he sees in reality.
No, he's not. Correct. He just now said that's expected on a globe because where it's actually at. He said where it's at, and he started to reify the model, begging the question. He said that's why it looks like that because it's on this latitude of the ball. That's a begging question fallacy.
Reifying the model. Don't.
Yes, it is.
Bollocks. No,
it literally is. It literally is.
Can you explain why that is?
Yes, because when we have a location, you're assuming that the mapping out on a spherical assumption is accurate, and that's what's in contention. Dumb ass shit, man. I'm getting out of here.
Make believe. Is that what you're going to do?
Hey, can I play my rap one more time so y'all can spiral?
Stars aren't there, which are there, and that makes the Earth flat. Good job, Witsit.
You need to provide.
Hey, Jim, since I know you're my #1 fan, you want to hear my rap?
Witsit, will you DM me a link to it?
Go ahead. You can perhaps include it in one of the pantomimes that you're in, or whatever else it is that you're. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna play it in. No Globers can respond to it yet, so maybe one of y'all be the first.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta give me a sec.
A negative claim.
It's a very fine line between the understanding
the Earth
of
is
different
not
sorts
flat.
of postulations between the two
Therefore,
sides.
it's a negative claim. Therefore,
it's just we just don't get it, Brummy. That's what it is.
No, I'm saying you both.
Well, we substantiated there is no physical obstruction of curvature.
I'm not speaking up for anyone in particular. I think both sides have a slight different edge on what's being said. That's all. It's a very fine line between the two interpretations of, one person saying this is true, one person saying it is not true, and then the one person saying that they must provide evidence that it's not true, and the other side saying, well, I shouldn't have to provide evidence for your claim. Both of them are very feasible. That's what I'm saying. But it's a very fine line.
If I see Polaris from below the equator, is that possible if the Earth's a ball? Dun, dun, dun.
Is that to me?
Yes,
yes,
it is possible.
Yes.
From a given altitude? From a given altitude, yes.
Yeah,
from below the equator where you're actually down on the other side of the ball, you can see Polaris.
From a given altitude, yes.
From a given altitude, when you go down below the curvature of the Earth on the bottom side of the ball, you can see through the Earth to Polaris.
Depends how far, but from
what
a given
fucking
altitude,
idiot.
yes. And in
okay.
fact, from any,
thanks for showing y'all's dishonesty.
Yes.
Here's the rap.
Yes, your dishonesty of claiming seen through the Earth instead of seen over.
Yeah, thanks for your dishonesty, bro.
You're welcome. Your dishonesty is not appreciated.
You just said that if I saw Polaris below the equator, that could happen on a ball because of altitude.
No, you tried to say that we said we could see it through the Earth, which is not at all what was said.
Well, I'm explaining why it could happen on a ball.
Why is it? Why can't you see? What reason is there for not being able to see Polaris below the equator on a flat Earth?
Jesus Christ! All right, here's the rap.
What? Fuck the rap. I don't want to listen to this. This is bullshit.
Thanks, Jim.
I'm rambling, but this motherfucker can play a rap.
Can make claims about the natural world void of validity.
Seriously?
Evidence.
I think you accidentally interrupted us.
Oh, it's evidence of his dishonesty. Very clear.
Yeah.
So why is it you can't see Polaris below the equator on a flat Earth?
Again, I still can't say Polaris. I have to look through the floor.
Good, he's muted.
So can you see it? Let's say I set up a D850 on a tripod stand on the.
Chris is spiraling. Oh, don't have to listen to this. No.
Yeah, we don't have to listen to this because we don't have to be subjected to fucking singing, rapping, and on mic.
Calm down, fucking calm down.
Yeah,
you know that comedian. That comedian goes, please God no, God no, please no.
Oh, you're tripping.
You're scared that a rap's going to defeat your worldview. That's so sad.
So what's it? Why is it you can't see Polaris on a flat Earth? Fuck me.
Claims about the natural world void.
Dude, no one wants to hear it. You've been muted again.
No, seriously, no one wants to hear that.
Put it in the chat box. People want to listen to it. They can.
Hey, send it to me. Witsit. I'll run it through my mastering suite.
No man, do it, man. Witsit, send it to me. DM it to me.
And then send it to me.
We just have to remember that Witsit thinks that when you get closer to the moon, it gets smaller.
Well, he's a little bit dumb, so what can we do about it?
That's Jeremy also.
Well, okay, hold on. I've been generous. Not a little bit, too much.
I'm just really upset that Curve took off because I've been waiting to hear him to actually debate. Well, QE at first, I was really trying to set that up, but this will be great between him and Witsit.
Curved has been in the game a long time, and he's tired of dealing with these dishonest arguments.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a wussy way out.
It's not a wussy way out, dude. People get burnt out on it.
If he yields a sword, I mean, if he sits there and yells at Jeremy, yells at other people, he should be able to wield his sword and whoop Witsit with no problem with
That's
one
right.
hand.
But dude, you heard me talking to Witsit. He wouldn't answer a simple question.
Yeah,
Jeb, Panda. Jeb, can you unmute Niger, please? Can you unmute Niger, please?
I listen to Witsit, listen to people over and over, and then go and answer.
He wouldn't answer a direct question. He wouldn't. He turned what I was claiming into a false dichotomy, and then refused to answer any questions. He wouldn't go down a line of reasoning that he knew he would lose, so he just ran away from the argument.
Recorded, right?
Dude, this happened like an hour ago. Everybody was in here. Maybe it was like an hour and a half. Maybe it was around maybe it was an hour and a half ago.
I mean, by the way, Jake, what you can do actually is we can like rewatch what happened today and previous times with Witsit. Take every point.
No, guys, you guys weren't even attacking his argument. Sorry.
Okay. We take every point. I dissect it. I research it very well. And we prepare everything for him because the way he talks is basically whenever we provide any argument, he basically becomes the skeptical guy, the open-minded guy, and he starts asking for, can we falsify this? Can we prove this? Can we actually make sure
you're waffling. Let me get a word in, please.
Well, okay, the circus one.
When I was listening to the arguments, right? When I was listening to the arguments, you guys were like not really like responding to what he was saying. When he was saying he makes a claim about the Earth being flat, it was about how it presents itself. Not that he was defining the entire shape of the Earth. You guys hold on. You guys were misinterpreting what he was saying and then arguing the misinterpretation. Can you stop interrupting me, please? Can you stop interrupting me, please? Can you stop interrupting me?
I want to hear the rap.
The fact of the matter is, you was arguing what you thought he said rather than what he did actually say. And even though that you might be right about the Earth being round, right? I still feel like you need to attack exactly what he's saying rather than what you think he's saying, and that's where I'm sitting here in pain because I can hear clearly the misdirection.
He's barely making any claims, dude. Like the guy is playing it smart. The thing is, he's putting doubts. He's being skeptical about our own claims, our own measurements, and our. He lies a little bit.
Because you're the one making. You're making claims. You're the one who's making the claim. The Globalists make claims.
This guy doesn't make any fucking claims.
You're the one making the claim.
We are making the claim, and he doesn't make any fucking claim.
So it's on you to prove it.
No. So it's
on you to prove it. It's not on him. So don't reverse the burden of proof. Stop trying to reverse the burden of proof. Stop trying to reverse the burden. Stop fucking talking. It's not on you to reverse the burden of proof. It's not on him to prove your ball wrong. You are trying to convince him of the ball. No. So the burden of proof is on you.
If
that's a
you
positive
accept that the ball is wrong, then that
positive
is
definitive claim about reality, bro.
So the Earth is not flat.
Which
no,
is brain
the ball with the radius 3,959 miles, 4,901 circumference,
noise.
100 nautical miles. All of these are very specific positive claims about definitive reality. So I just simply am testing those claims that I was indoctrinated with at 5 years old.
Right.
I want to know if what they told me was true. And for some reason, it's like,
man, you can't even comprehend the reality anymore.
I might not be right.
You smoked too much weed, bro. That was your mistake.
I smoked too much weed. Good one.
Yeah. So when are you going to actually debate? What's it?
Is that Brenda?
Yeah.
Hey, man, he's been on here all
this is
day,
Brenda who told me that Adam.
debating.
Brenda told me atoms were clocks, bones were clocks, and I asked her if psychologists were actually physicists, and she basically said yes.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, Brenda's kind of ridiculous. Brenda will sit there and debate Nathan Oakley for 2 hours, and then ask him when we're going to debate.
I haven't debated
for 3 hours.
How are you going to debate someone and then right after say, "Hey, when are we going to debate?"
Can I respond?
You guys don't hear the rap.
I guess I don't get to respond. What? So. Witsit. So Witsit is an egg timer a clock?
Sure.
Yeah. So
a timer is a timer a clock. Yeah, Brenda.
Yeah. So bones are clocks. Atoms are clocks.
It's not derp power with Brenda, is it? We derping with Brenda now. Fucking hell.
Brenda, throw me a clock, bruh.
Fucking hell.
So a bone is a clock because
everything's a clock apparently. A rock is a clock.
Why are you talking? Why are you talking over?
Floor's a clock. Every piece of wood in the world's a clock.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
But they all
deluded. Your fucking deluded brain is a clock.
I just want to reply. I'm not allowed to reply. Why am I not allowed to reply?
Your rotting corpse will be a
Why are
clock
you
as well.
undemuting me? Why are you undemuting me? Why are you undemuting me?
Statement.
I know what she's saying. Basically, invoke this scientific idea of carbon dating, and that you can look at a bone and know how old it is. So when dogs dig into the earth and bury a bone, they're actually burying time capsules.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Dog bones, clocks. Shoes are naturally occurring phenomena. Psychologists are physicists.
Why are you funding muting me? Why are people funding muting me? So Witsit. If I set a timer, right, and the timer is counting down, can I tell how long it has been since I set the timer?
What's that?
Can I hand you a dog bone and you tell me what time it is? No.
What about the wrinkles? What about the wrinkles? What about the wrinkles on your nan's face? Yeah, the wrinkles on your nan's face. Is that a clock? Because you can fucking.
Wait.
I'm just going to stop here because I just can't talk.
Meeting going on. We need to allow Brenda to contextualize her statements. Please listen.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. So a clock is a timer, and I can tell time from an egg timer if I know that I started the clock at 12 o'clock and the timer has counted down 15 minutes. I know it's 12:15. So yes, I can tell.
You're gonna have the most inaccurate clock with that method.
No, wait. What does that have to do with a bone, Brenda?
The most accurate clock is an atomic clock. An atom can be a clock. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, we use atoms.
Jeremy is being smart.
What about the shit that comes out your ass on the toilet? Is that a clock as well? You can tell how fresh the smell comes off it. How it stagnates.
Oh, Jesus, fucking very charming. Yeah, why'd you have to bring it down to fucking fucking 7-year-old shit, man. Jesus.
Brenda, are you debating? Are you endorsing carbon
Make
dating?
it eschatological or scatological rather, then we can go there, Brummy. If you know that the odor wafts up to your nose at a certain rate of time, potentially that
Come on,
could
Levin,
be
don't indulge me.
maintaining.
Jesus.
It's constant
completely
carbon
unnecessary.
dating. We can't
The odor. The
do
odor.
that.
Dude, carbon dating is
Oh,
proven to be
shit,
bullshit.
Leatherman, that's amazing.
Science.
The one
People have sent rocks into labs to carbon date them, and they said a 30-year rock or a 3-year rock, one of the two, was 3 million years.
Oh my God, you're so retarded.
I'm retarded because you think carbon dating.
The brain part from which
Imagine thinking carbon dating.
A 3-year-old rock. How do you date? How do you know the rock's 3 years old? What's it?
You'd literally be better
Because
off.
you found it 3 years ago. You found the rock 3 years ago, and you think it's a 3-year-old rock.
The rock, I think. I don't remember.
Wow.
Okay, whatever. What I'm saying is carbon dating is not accurate or consistent. And what it does is it takes the decomposition or degradation rate of the carbon.
Based upon what? Because you
Citation,
just
please.
stated you had no
Then it
idea about the
applies
rock.
it to an assumption timeline.
So you have no
you're
factual
wrong.
foundation. Thank you.
So you're just wrong with it.
Carbon
Carbon
dating is
is
more
accurate.
accurate. This is a
Yes,
huge-
it is. It is accurate. It is accurate.
Okay, well, yeah, but you think
When was the rock? How do you know the rock was born 3 years ago? What's it? Did the rock get chipped off a bigger rock 3 years ago?
Can you start with the
Fucking
rock's
hell,
cooking?
Well, you don't have to believe it.
So carbon dating.
Think for yourself, guys. It's okay. Like, we were all lied to. Like, I don't think we think.
So carbon dating is accurate. Witsit. Carbon dating is accurate.
Because I honestly want some people to hear the evidence, bro. That might be honest.
Okay, we want to hear evidence. Since you don't have this mysterious rock that you just established, you don't know the age of it. What other evidence? Because you just based your stains upon no evidence at this point. Where's your evidence?
Well, carbon dating is a positive claim of timelining fucking millions of years.
Word
You have
salad.
to differentiate the efficacy of that procedure, bro.
Don't use those big words. You don't know what they mean.
Well, we have a equivocation here. We're confusing time, the flow of events, with processes. How many events happen in a certain span of time? They're very close, but don't confuse the two.
No, a process.
Biological processes have to be constant enough to set, quote unquote, a clock by for you to set a clock by them. But if my metabolism speeds up by twice the amount of time, like with the carbon dating or whatever with these living creatures, that clock may be thrown off. So these processes need to be constant throughout time, a claim that cannot really be made without a witness there.
Carbon dating. Let me reply to the moron. Carbon dating is not based on biological processes. It's not based on biological metabolism. It's based on the decay, the radioactive decay of carbon. It's not.
But Brenda, it is still a process that is governed by things, electrical fields, the environment around the object, the objects. If it's like an animal, it's biological processes throughout time. There are other things that can influence this process.
Nope, that's not true. That's not true. There are radioactive decay is unaffected by any other natural force. Any.
It's just that it's circular to say that time is in effect this process, and the process is how many events happen in a rate of time that's circular. So you need to decide if time is the eternal flow of events, no matter the process, or if it's going to be tied so closely to this process, we're going to try to set a clock by the rate at which this process occurs and assume that it is constant throughout eternity and time.
We know that radioactive decay is constant, and that's what definitions are. Definitions are circular. That's what makes it a definition.
But we need to make sure that the definition isn't so circular, it's making its own reality as opposed to humbly submitting to and describing reality. If you're talking about things like, Revelational truth.
Brenda, I
There's
thought
no
you
such
said we
thing
didn't have
as
to worry about
revelation.
definitions the other day. Now you're talking about definitions.
So definitions are always circular. All unmarried bachelors, unmarried men are bachelors. Bachelors are unmarried men. That's circular.
True.
That's what an analytic claim is. And analytic statements are always circular.
And
they're reflective.
And that's why we have to make sure this definition reflects and describes reality, as opposed to being so vicious and so circular. It's in effect trying to describe its own fenced-in reality.
That's just gibberish. I don't even know what that means. Definition in science, definitions are based on observed phenomena. Right. So carbon dating is accurate up to about 50,000 years. It is not affected by temperature or any other process. It is not affected by metabolism.
Hey, Brenda,
Radioactive
so if I
decay.
give you a bone, Brenda, if I give you a bone, you're gonna be able to tell me the day, even the year that it is. That's a pretty bad clock.
We can tell you how long it has been since that animal was alive. Yes.
You're not going to be able to tell me what day or what kind of clock doesn't tell me what time it is.
What are you talking about?
It's a clock in a different sense in that it can clock for you how long it's been dead in the ground. So it's not telling you date and time. It's telling you how long it's been in the ground like that.
Yeah, so it's like an egg.
Doesn't tell me.
It's like an egg time.
Who's
It's
got
like
an
an
echo
egg timer.
going? Echo.
It's like it. I'll put headphones on.
Echo.
She sounds good to me.
So, did y'all hear about the elephant that was actually able to tell people's age at the carnival? I don't know when it was, but like
hold on,
tell the
hold
age.
on, Mr. Reality. Brenda's got this clock that doesn't tell
Yeah.
time.
So no, it does tell time. It does tell time. If I set an egg timer, for 20 minutes, I go away, I come back, and it has counted down.
Yeah, we heard
10
this.
minutes.
You're on repeat.
Just listen.
If I give you a dog bone,
Just listen.
how
Allow me. Just listen. You're fundy muting me.
You've
So
said
if I
this like
said
100
you're
times.
fundy muting me, you're fundy muting me. You're fundy muting me. So if I set an egg timer for 20 minutes and I go away, come back, it reads it's 10 minutes left. I know that I set it 10 minutes ago. The same.
So you're going to be able to tell what time it is. Yes.
Yes,
Now, when I hand you a dog, okay, my turn. When I hand you a dog bone and say, what time is it? Are you going to be able to come within a decade? A year?
I think that I don't know the exact accuracy of carbon dating. It's probably to the year.
Yeah. Okay. You're not going to be able to come within a decade of that of what time it actually is right now.
So you're admitting that it's a clock. You just don't like
no, it's
that.
not. It's the most inaccurate clock in the world. Sure, I could guess.
No,
better
it's
than
not.
that clock.
It's more accurate than one that can't tell you the year.
You can't. You're not going to be able to get the year from this. Are you nuts? This is
Yes,
not
you
going to tell
can.
you what year it is. No, it's
Yes, I
not.
can.
You'd be lucky if you came within 100
can.
years. If you came within 100 years, you'd be lucky.
So if I have a bone, I dig it up out of the peat bogs, and I know that and I do carbon dating on it, and it says it's been dead for 1,000 years, then I know that bone was placed there. That person lived 1,000 years ago, and I could set the time. That would be, whatever that is,
Yeah, you think the accuracy's up to
1,020 was when that person lived.
Okay, and you think it's accurate to the year?
Let's say I don't know. Let's say it is.
So how do you even know it's a clock, then? If you don't know, how do you know it's a clock? You don't know anything about
measure
this.
time. A year's
you
a
should
time.
stop talking about this.
Clocks measure time.
I would just stop talking
year
about
is
it because
a
you
length-
don't even know how it works.
Clocks
But
measure
you should
time.
really just stop.
A year is a length of time. A year is a measure of time.
Brenda, you don't know how this works. You should just stop.
I do know how it works.
You just told me you don't know how it works.
She's talking
No, I
about
did. I said I don't know how accurate it is.
Exactly. So what good is a clock
what?
if it's not accurate to within 10 years?
It's good
100
for
years.
counting years. It's good for counting years.
It's not good for counting years. You're not going to be able to tell me what time it is within a decade. It's terrible at counting years.
Well, in a way, time is a concept of regular passage of events that happen roughly around the same amount of time. Do they happen exactly on the dot? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe there are fluctuations. The point is, we already have this concept where time's passage is more or less a concept that we trust for the regular passage of events. Do we have the absolute clock that tells us what absolute quote unquote time is? No, it's a concept of the regular passage of events. The question then becomes, are these events happening in a really regular way, or are there fluctuations?
Brenda,
So
even
at that-
after all the hold on, Brenda, even after all the mean stuff you said to Lemon, she's jumping in trying to save you right now.
Well, the good thing about this. Well, the good thing about this conversation is it's helping us nail down the real issue. With carbon dating, it's circular to say that time is passing by the rate of this process occurring, the decay of these substances or whatever, and then a process in its definition reveals the circularity. A process is basically regular events that happen in a certain amount of time, which is circular and may, hem us in and box us in a wrong way of thinking.
You're a good Christian, Lemon.
We measure time in the old-fashioned grandfather clocks by the oscillations of the pendulum, right? That's a repeating oscillation. Yeah. We measure time in atomic clocks by the oscillations of the cesium atoms. We measure time in quartz electric clocks by the oscillations of piezoelectric quartz within the clock. That's how you measure time, right? It's by a repeating event, an oscillating repeating event.
Our physical processes. I think what happens is we trust them so much because they appear to be very reliable and change very little. This cesium atom, whatever, vibrates and oscillates, a billion times a second, and we're like, we can put our money on this. We see a change when it moves, in space, and say time itself must be changing, when really it may just be the process by which we're trusting, to tell the passage of time that has changed, the vibration rate that changed, not time itself, because to really have, standardization across time, we still need to maintain that concept of this eternity of time that is separate from the processes like the vibration of the cesium clock, the radioactive decay rates or whatever, that is separate from time itself. Otherwise, they may, be, linked at the hip in a way that might, give us circular wrong thinking. That's all.
Right. So
all that means, hold on, Brenda. All that means stuff you said to Lemon, and she jumps in and saves you. That's what a good I wish you would stop saying mean things about him.
Lemon isn't saving me. Lemon is disagreeing.
She just saved you.
Why are you saying she is? Has
my
Lemon
bad.
decided?
Talking about me? Whatever,
I mean, don't y'all
Well,
want to
he
hear
might
about
be
the
gender
elephant?
fluid. Lemon might be gender fluid for all I know. I don't care. So the point is that Lemon is disagreeing with me.
No, not. I mean, maybe not the details, but he's agreeing with you. But yet,
No.
Yeah, a little bit he is.
No, he isn't.
Yes,
he's saying that we
explaining
can't
it.
know.
Yeah.
No, he's saying that we can't know.
Who's sniffing drugs on Mike?
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry, that was
Chris.
me. My nose. It's my nose. It's really. I've got rebound rhinitis.
Share it, man. Share some of that shit, man. It's good.
I'm telling you, man. I've been talking about it for the last week. That I've told everyone I've had rebound rhinitis.
I want
so I
some.
didn't realise I was unmuted.
No, it's all right.
I've
heard it a few times before, man. I want some.
But Brenda, we do agree.
I wish I had some.
We just disagree on the implications is all.
No, you don't think that there's such a thing as science. Because the science says, right, you're just questioning whether we can know anything at all.